Hello, I am Ditaku Snek, here with OmOneko.
Yes, of course. I am Ditaku, known for, always looking on the sunny side.
Hey, yo, hold on. I said I'm Ditaku in this Snek.
Yeah, but you got to mess with me during Monster Rancher, so, know.
Okay, fine. All right, fine. You are, okay, Ditaku. This is the Snek. And we are here with OmOneko.
Since they're still napping, I'm able to slide the box from the store underneath the sofa, hiding the surprise before either can notice.
Aww.
I'm exhausted. Bouncing the walk wore me out. I'd love to just collapse on the sofa, but if I do, I don't think I'll be able to get back up. Sure does look comfortable, though. The flame brings the moths, and thus... The familiar sound of dinner being prepared brings Pepper and Claudia. Claudia offers her usual help, getting up after me and fetching pans and ingredients when I ask. Pepper watches. Periodically snoops around the kitchen. Every time Pepper opens a drawer or cabinet, I notice Claudia exhale sharply. Pepper being nosy is winding her up. My big victory comes when Pepper is looking in a cabinet and I ask, Pepper, can you pass that jar of red curry to Claudia for me? Yep, that jar right there. Pepper takes the jar from the cabinet and looks at me. Then at Claudia. Claudia looks at me, then at Pepper. After an intense moment of apprehension, Pepper hands the jar to Claudia, who takes it and hands it to me. They both stand there looking at me, at each other, and the jar of curry. Thanks, this will make our dinner great, and we did it together. Both Neko's tails display delight at the excessive praise. I totally don't need the red curry, but a dash won't hurt. Claudia giggles a bit and gives a smile, seeming to drift into thought as she cleans up the counter. Pepper stares smugly at me, holding my gaze. She gives a slight snort. We sit down to have dinner. Wait, don't eat yet. First, I have to do something that I should have done at the very start. A proper introduction, long overdue. Claudia, this is Pepper. Pepper lived with Goro, but he got a new job and had to move, so she's going to live with us now. I inadvertently pause as that sinks in. Wow. Hearing my words gives them some gravity. This isn't something temporary. Pepper lives here now. I'm the guy with 2 Nekos. Crap.
You know what they say about a guy with 2 Nekos?
What do they say about the guy with 2 Nekos, Ditaku-san?
I don't know either. I thought you would know.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess neither of us are the guys with 2 Nekos, then. Must be a third.
I don't have 2. I don't even have 1.
That's true.
My folks have 2 dogs, but I mean, yeah, we haven't had a Neko in a couple of years now.
I force a smile and continue before they pick up on the mood change. Pepper is very clever and a great rat hunter. Lots of sass, get 'em, Pepper, rats. Pepper, this is Claudia. Claudia pretty much runs the whole house. The place would fall apart without her.
That is very unfortunate. I mean, not to diss Claudia, I'm just saying, like...
letting a cat be in charge.
If they're considered, like, barely above animals, then, you are relying on this creature, which is barely above an animal, to, they're in charge of the house. It's like, oh...
I'm not sure I'd admit that out loud, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Claudia and I grew up together, and she's lived here since she was a kitten. Claudia seems slightly embarrassed.
That also begs the question, how long do Nekos live then?
Oh,
because yeah.
Well, obviously more than 20 years. He's not treating her like she's an old lady, and he said that they grew up together and that they were pretty much like childhood at the same time.
Yeah, it's true.
So that certainly seems to indicate their lifespans may not be human length, but they're at least much longer than a regular cat.
Yeah, I mean, to put in perspective for my youngest sister had a cat that basically we called her the Iron Lady because she lived with the family. I am not, not kidding. She was 25 when she passed. Oof. And it was kind of a case of like this, she's going to be there at the end of the universe, and God's going to come down over and bonk God on the nose because it's like, this is her planet.
Mine.
No.
Well, Impress Chloe made it to a very impressive 19, so not bad at all. Although Claudia seems slightly embarrassed and Pepper cocks a suspicious eye at me, hearing me say nice things about each one to the other clearly makes them feel good about themselves. After dinner, I score a second victory, asking Claudia to hand the dirty dishes to Pepper and having Pepper bring them to me. This slows and overcomplicates the cleanup, but anything that gets them accustomed to each other and de-escalates the enmity is worthwhile. Claudia washes the dishes and then drops dirty paper towels into the incinerator. Fortunately, Mom sprung for a better model than the ones that the government sent out to replace all the garbage cans. Okay. I don't know why that bit of detail was necessary, but okay, Alright.
In the future, we have, incinerators in order to destroy all garbage cans. Okay.
Okay, I accept this at face value. This is not the weirdest thing in this world, let's be honest.
That's true.
The emotional stress and physical fatigue from the past few days are showing their wear on me. I'll save my surprise for tomorrow. All I can think about is my bed. My big, empty bed. Before I turn in, I check on Pepper. I hope she sleeps tonight. I must collect them all. If you see one, call. A career in the army. Assures the public that the rats do not oopsie poopsie for all your cleaning needs. What the heck? Of course, Pepper's in front of the television. She has a TV remote and is mashing buttons with tremendous speed as the channels go by in a flurry. Pepper! Eek! And I just get bonked in the head by another object. Ow. Surprise caused her to instinctively turn and throw the TV remote at me. That was my fault. Somehow, note to self, do not startle OmOneko. Oopsie poopsie. Way too loud. Pepper says it again as a whisper. Oopsie poopsie. No, the TV is too loud, and it's too early. Pepper, looking embarrassed, repeats it again. Then, as though a switch got turned on. Oopsie poopsie, oopsie doopsie. I'm not reading all that. Pepper skips around the room. I need coffee. I rub my forehead with a remote. Catch sight of Claudia, also awoken by the noise as she stands in the doorway. Claudia turns away and disappears back into the sunroom. Damn. Pepper, now bored again, has turned her attention to the contents of the hall closet. It's going to be a long day. She approaches the stand this time, ignoring the wave of dizziness and urge to vomit. For now, the adrenaline in her blood was still high enough to keep her moving, but a voice deep down warned her that it was not going to last much longer. What are you reading, dude? This day is much like the last, but better. There has been a bit of neko dancing happening that I'm hoping will pass soon. At least Pepper has her appetite back. Unfortunately, Pepper, having figured out that if you leave the refrigerator door open too long, it chimes, keeps leaving the door open, because she is obnoxious. Pepper. Mostly it's been a frustrated Claudia that ends up coming to the kitchen to close the door and stop the chime.
At least you know that she's doing it because she can hear it.
That's true. Right now I'm showing Pepper where to put her dirty laundry. Spoiler, not everywhere. But she's not very interested in my crazy concept of putting laundry into a laundry basket and almost throws a tantrum. Out of ideas, I offer. Look, if you do all of your chores, there'll be a reward at the end of each week. Chores. Reward? What? Chores. Reward. I'm not sure if it's the challenge that hooks her or simply that she's being bribed, but I leap on the deal. Sure, chores reward, why not?
You know what it probably is? She's probably a very task-oriented individual. If she was trained from a young age to be a hunter, and that was her primary, primary task, she's probably kind of listless right now. She doesn't have anything to do. She doesn't have... Her purpose was taken from her. Her person was taken from her. What does she have? So now MC Kun is saying, hey, I am giving you a purpose. She's probably over the moon.
That's true. Now I have to think of chores for her and come up with some kind of reward each week. I'm hoping that giving Pepper structure will keep her occupied and in turn make her less bored. At this point, anything that reduces the stress on Claudia and on me is worth trying. Again, I'll take any victory I can get, like when I'm able to enlist the help of both getting ready for breakfast and lunch. In fact, I'm in such a good mood after my victory that after lunch I decided to treat myself and bake a nice fresh loaf of bread. Claudia helps by fetching ingredients. Oh, instead of regular bread, I'm going to make cinnamon raisin bread.
Wow. I mean, I wouldn't say anything. Mama Poogum loves cinnamon raisin bread.
I like cinnamon raisin bread. I'm one of those weirdos who genuinely likes raisins.
I see. Okay. That is lies and slander. I like raisins, but I like raisins. If you put raisins in things, make them, and I don't like them.
Okay.
I like raisins. I actually legitimately think that raisins are a great snack food. But they need to be by themselves. You don't put them in things. Okay?
I mean, I'm one of those weirdos who would grab a cookie from a plate, and even if it's cookie roulette between, oatmeal raisin and chocolate chip, I'd still be happy either way.
You are a monster. You are a monster. No wonder you're on the pro pineapple side.
That's how, I should do that at work. I should play cookie roulette. It's like half of these are oatmeal raisin, half of these are chocolate chip, and you're not gonna know which ones are which until you eat it.
Snack, you're a monster. Why would you do that?
Because it amuses me.
Oh, jeez.
Grinning, Claudia complies, giving me the look she saves for when one of my simple cooking ideas evolves into something less simple. You know what? Put back the bread pan and grab the muffin tray. These won't be muffins, but I'll bake them.
That is how things usually end up.
Yep. Scope, scope bloat. That way it'll be easy to grab for a snack.
Yeah, for those of you who care about such things, many of the April Fool's ideas basically are me going, hey, yeah. And then Snek is the one to proceed to go, yeah, we're going to cut this out. And so eventually what is one idea evolves into multiple years worth of content.
Yes. We only very recently finished several ideas that were initially put on the table when we were doing Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Claudia finishes cleaning up and heads off as I set the oven to bake the buns. Can't wait till the house fills with the smell of baking bread. Pepper, no!
Pepper, yes!
I rush into the living room where Pepper and Claudia are once again squared off, ramping up for a fight. Both are coiled, glaring intensely, fingers splayed. Not again!
Oh, dear.
Find her keeper.
Oh, dear.
Pepper is one of Claudia's hair scrunchies. I've never seen Claudia get possessive of her things, but then again, she never had anyone take her stuff. It's a freaking hair scrunchie! This would be comical, except for the potential it would start a fight and wreck the living room. I'm
not gonna lie, I completely understand this, and you want to know why?
Because you have like a million siblings?
I have like a million siblings, and I am not kidding you, bro. Our cats would take them and carry them around like they were the best toys. We gave them all sorts of like little mices,
yeah,
little like fluff balls or whatever. They didn't care. But like hair scrunchies for my sisters, they thought those were the coolest thing. So, yeah.
No, that checks out.
Cats are weird.
No, they
I guess ultimately it's what I'm saying.
That they are, dude. Find her keeper, lose her weeper. Enough! I don't like yelling, especially mine, but I can't pretend this isn't serious. Not handling their run-ins very well. I just have no experience with something like this. Both cats stay in their room for the rest of the day, right up to cooking dinner. At least until the rich aroma of food simmering in garlic and ginger make both of them want to be involved. Their dejected expressions make me feel like a monster. That is
also true. They have a good sense of smell, and they love aromatic things like that.
That is true. If Pepper were to grab the bowls and sporks and Claudia were to take them to set the table, I'd be very appreciative. This is something Claudia would normally have done on her own, but just being involved seems to make her happy. Dinner is surprisingly civilized, with no shenanigans. Actually makes yum sounds and actually finishes every bite. Again, I credit the meal, not my diplomacy.
A thought just occurred to me just now. Pepper has a collar.
Correct.
Right? This leads me to assume that she is supposed to be an outside Neko.
Yeah. I mean, Claudia also tends to the garden in the yard, so they're both indoor-outdoor.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that Claudia doesn't have a... Usually, collars are for cats that are supposed to be outside.
That's true.
So, just, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's just a character design thing. Or if there is deeper meaning to this, I don't know. I just realized, I'm like, wait a second, Claudia doesn't have a collar. That's wild. So,
after our new elaborate cleanup ritual, I deliver my surprise. Star checkers.
Chinese.
Yep.
I refuse to call them anything but Chinese checkers.
Claudia lights up as soon as she sees the game. Setting herself next to me on the sofa, she eagerly grabs a handful of colored marbles. I can't remember what happened to our old board, so I got us a new one. With a quick laugh, she tosses her head to the side. The tips of her long golden mane dance about as her uncontainable joy erupts in an even brighter smile. Claudia's humming only amplifies her delight as she sets up our game. I grin right along with her.
Let me tell you, that game is tough.
Yeah, it can be, for sure.
Yes.
Pepper, curious as to what we're doing, watches from a close distance. Through a sour expression, Pepper's eyes follow Claudia's painted nails as her fingers diligently place the colored marbles into the correct spots on the board. We're gonna
Do we ever know what happened to MC's mom?
Oh, she had to move for some reason, and she couldn't take Claudia, so we're living in Mom's house while she's living elsewhere.
And the entire reason why she has like painted nails and she's as prim and proper as she is because she was Mom's Neko.
Right.
But I'm just like, is this a case where Mom has passed away? I guess not.
No, I don't. There's no indication of that. Dad passed away, but Mom appears to still be around, just not in the house at the moment. So there's
right.
that.
Right.
We're gonna play Sternholma. Star checkers. Yes, star checkers. You wouldn't like it, Pepper. Pepper dons a sneer, startled by the prospect of me keeping something from her. Clucky, clucky, yucky, ducky. Pepper mumbles some dissatisfaction under her breath. She can't read my mind, but the look she's giving me says she knows I'm really trying to get her to play with us, trying to trick her. She knows it, but also knows the ruse is working.
See? No, you're trying to say this to get me to do something, and it's working.
I know you're playing me, and it's totally going to work.
Oh, man. Remember when Team 4-Star was good?
Yeah, good times. Through the Frieza arc.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I can kind of do that with Sir Dash. There are certain toys that I know he will not resist. So if I need to like move him out of the way for something, and he'll be like, no, I know you want me to move, therefore I'm not going to move. I'll grab one of his favorite toys and lure him over. He loves fishing rod style toys. And he will just go for it because he loves the fishing rod more than he loves spiting me.
Yes.
Glaring suspiciously.
I suppose you have caught, high-level catfish.
Oh, yes, of course. He likes to sit on the fishing rod, which kind of defeats the purpose of the fishing rod, but, it comes and goes. Glaring suspiciously, she joins us, flopping to the floor with a thump. I show her our simple rules, and we take turns doing marbles across the board. Pepper instantly figures out how to play and gets excited for her turn. When she captures one of my pieces, she bounces with glee, jumping right along with her marble. Claudia is all smiles, playing as she always has, slowly and methodically.
Let's say, a task-oriented, hunter.
Yep.
She'd probably be able to pick this up relatively quickly.
I should think so. Seeing her like this brings me right back to our childhood. Playing Sternholma, or Star Checkers, with our made-up rules was one of the few things we regularly did together. I can't say what it is, but there's something different about her right now. Something brighter? Anyway, as much fun as we're all having, I can't help but feel that there's some cheating happening. Almost immediately, I start to suspect they're teaming up on me. This isn't 1 versus 1 versus 1, or every mammal for themselves, as it should be when you have 3 players. This is 2-on-1, feline versus human. And very quickly, I'm down to only a few remaining marbles and little gains to show for my effort. Pepper jumps my last marble, which looks me dead in the eye. Oopsie. Poopsie.
Oops.
This is going to be a thing with you now, isn't it? Pepper nods enthusiastically. Wonderful. I've been completely trounced, both girls having a little celebration in their own way. Claudia softly giggles and puts a hand on my knee to console me. Been too long. Need practice now. Lots and lots. Yeah. Pepper points to the pile of my marbles she's captured and barks a laugh. Ha! Wrecked. That's Goro's influence, I assume. Afterwards, they quickly finish the game. Pepper kind of lost interest after beating me, leaving Claudia to pull off a dark horse victory. All in all, today was a win. Claudia puts the board away. I make a mental note to pick up the other game. What's it called? Jingu. Jenga. You mean Jenga, my good man.
Oh my lord.
One of the blocks, you build a tower and take turns moving till the pieces fall over. Maybe even that other game with tubes, sticks, and marbles. Tubes, sticks, and marbles.
Tubes, sticks.
I'm not sure what game they're talking about in that case.
Unless they're talking about Mousetrap, but I mean...
There's a lot more to it than tubes, sticks, and marbles, though.
Yeah, that's a whole Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah, anything that will end up less girls versus me. Exposing an illusion is not the same as revealing a truth. If truth is relative, then its cousin is anarchy. Has it already been a whole week? I mean, I suppose there's truth to that, but at the same time, there is objective truth. And the only people I've ever seen propose otherwise are theoretical physicists, and I'm pretty sure those guys all belong to a cult.
Honestly, I feel like theoretical physicists are going, good news, we can figure out, life, but you only have like 30% of the information. Okay, we can extrapolate the rest of it.
No, don't worry. Our model is definitely not broken.
Guys, we have just learned that that in fact there is an additional universal force. Apathy is actually a cosmic, universal constant, and it completely rewrites all our understanding of all physics ever, forever.
I wouldn't even be surprised at this point.
That's right. Whenever you say meh, you are actually, being pulled by a universal force.
You guys need to go watch our Care Bear /MLP episode of the Lost Season 2. The intro to that video alone is worth price of admission.
What, when you guys try to kill me with diabetes?
No, that was, we were worried about the care meter going down, and you respond by just kind of shrugging it off. We're like, no, it's going into the negatives now! I guess I'm coming to accept the reality that I'm not going to be I'm now going to be responsible for not just Claudia, but Pepper too. It's a huge deal. Putting aside the weirdness of having a domesticated Neko, there's the practical side of things. Extra food, extra laundry, care, and attention, and now I have two. Thank God Claudia treats chores like they're her favorite hobby. At least I don't have to worry about the extra mess. Oh, so she's a Rune Factory bachelorette. Okay. It's not all bad,
I'm
though.
excessively quirky.
That's great. You do you.
That's great. That's great. I'm gonna threaten your life. Oh. Factory 1 heroin.
Ah, okay. I was hoping for super good morning, but yeah, okay.
This is not Rune Factory 4, Snek, and you know it.
It's not all bad, though. There have been some very unexpected moments where the three of us have come together in a strange new synchronicity, and that gives me a lot of hope. Synchronicity. I swear I'm literate. Pepper's wariness and the frustration she displayed on first arriving are gone, but she still gets bored easily, which sometimes leads to issues where I have to play referee. Pepper, seriously! Fortunately, those instances have been fewer and milder. I still worry, though, to the point that I tried to think of someone else that could take Pepper or somewhere she could go. But just like Goro said, there isn't anyone else, just me. Tomorrow, Goro leaves for Army basic training. He's very busy, and other than a few quick texts between us, we haven't had a lot of contact. I dress quickly as I'm really looking forward to getting to spend time with him tonight. I'm still trying to process him joining the Army out of the blue like he did. It just seems like a reckless decision. Goro's not the military type. He's wild, loves to prank, and has a bit of a rebellious streak.
And let me tell you, there are... I'm not saying that this won't be hammered out of him, but there will be opportunities for him to express such shenaniganry. I am not nor will I likely ever be a veteran, but I am surrounded by veterans. And let me tell you, you have opportunities to be mischievous, shall we say.
No, I imagine so. Really, though, I think I just don't want to face the fact that after tonight, I won't see him for who knows when I'll get to see him again. There is a small army base not too far from town, but
war. He's just going active duty. That's slightly different.
And as a medic, he's probably going to be in the back lines of most things, even if he was in a conflict zone.
And I once again point out, technically speaking, targeting medics is a war crime. Not that any of our enemies, the enemies of America,
acknowledges that except us.
Yeah, it's the darndest thing, but
there is a small army base not too far from town, but the odds you'd be stationed there aren't worth considering. Yeah, you can't guarantee anything like that. They move you where they want you.
It depends on your rank and whether or not you're enlisted or if you are an officer. An officer, they move you where they move. With enlisted, as I understand it, you have a little bit more freedom to be able... And I've heard of people who basically just live in one particular area and they basically move between bases in that area.
Makes sense. Despite his antics, I'm really going to miss having him in my life. I know how Pepper feels. Goro isn't even gone yet, and I already feel like a house that's had its entire back wall ripped away. Huge hole where there was support, and now there's nothing there to keep out the weather. But don't mention that I'm going to see Goro. Since I'll be gone a while, I turn on the TV. Claudia really enjoys the Nature Channel, and Pepper has started getting into it too. At the sound of the program, both my Nekos dash in. Wow, my Nekos. It still doesn't sound right to me. I'm going out for a little while. I'll feed you girls when I get back. Other than a quick nod from Claudia, I'm mostly ignored. In the picture, the TV switches to a scene of penguins. Pepper sucks her teeth, then blurts out a quick and quiet, "Get him, Pepper!" They should be fine for the next few hours. The restaurant is relatively short walk.
You're now imagining Pepper trying to take down a penguin.
I could see it. Goro's already waiting for me. Hey, I'm here.
Well, so he's Goro. I thought that was us.
I kind of thought so too, but I guess we are a non-kun rather than an MC-kun. That would explain... Thank you, Goro. I'm not saying that out loud because that'll get clipped faster than the speed of light. Yeah, I was expecting something
inappropriate for you, and that somehow didn't disappoint.
Goro's grin widens to match mine. Thanks, I've been saving that one just for you. You've been saving that for me. Yes, you'll need something to play with while I'm gone. I have a box of them in the trunk of my car for you. Oh, so you've been going to WNBA games then.
How did you know?
I can come back if you two and your implements need another moment. Seemingly out of the ether, our waitress appears. With a raised eyebrow, she savors the uncomfortable moment as Goro and I squirm in embarrassment as she overheard the crude banter. Sorry, we were just discussing anything I heard. It's rare that you guys show up front about stuff like that. It's almost wholesome. She continues without missing a beat.
You do not understand. You do not understand the banter that has gone on between the Tomo Bros. You do not understand. You cannot fathom the lewd banter that goes on.
Seriously.
No.
She continues without missing a beat, only making me want to hide even further behind the menu. Goro laughs. He loves moments like this, relishing them as a challenge of some sort. But... want one? Whoa, that's brash even for him. The waitress is offended. She's not showing it. Nah, I look like the type who has things well in hand. Her tone hasn't changed, still lighthearted and teasing. Her smile, however, seems sharper than it was just a moment ago. Goro returns her gaze to the flat smile of his own. This is some of the bawdiest that I've seen Goro get with a stranger. Maybe him leaving tomorrow, he doesn't see any real risk in taking chances. Then again, he's always had a talent for meeting and chatting up girls, so maybe he's reading the situation differently than I am. I could always use another hand. The waitress's smile flattens and her gaze narrows. She studies Goro. In my head, I'm already calculating us being thrown out of the restaurant in 5, 4, 3, 2... The pause feels like it goes on for way too long. She leans over her shoulder and then leans in closer. Pull it out. What? That's it. I think I may have just had a stroke because it sounded like she just told pull it out. I feel all the blood in my body rush to my feet, nearly choke on my tongue. For the first time since I've known him, Goro is speechless. The waitress has him hypnotized, locked in her unblinking gaze. Goro, completely unbalanced by this turn of events, stares at her with his mouth still open. This was not the outcome he anticipated. I don't want to. Defeated, Goro shrinks in his chair, relieved that she's called his bluff. I begin to apologize.
Wow.
In a flash, the waitress's hard demeanor dissipates. She begins to giggle. She giggles so hard she snorts. My utter shock and Goro's dawning realize that he's been played make her giggle even harder. Goro and I share a look. We can't help but smile, too. Very well played. I begin to apologize. Don't worry. If I thought there was any chance he was actually going to do it, I wouldn't have suggested it. Gonna behave now? Yes, ma'am. Waitress begins victoriously. Goro smiles guiltily. I am in awe. That was brilliant on her part. The master schemer and utterly confident Goro, completely and effortlessly put down by this sprightly puck. Never seen anyone handle him like that. She stops smiling and turns a renewed sharp focus at me. Handle him? Are you being funny? She spits the words at me. Oh, no, I'm saying that you won that hands down. Hands down? I feel like a bug about to be squashed. My eyes widen. The blood that was hiding in my feet rushes to my cheeks. No, I'm saying the way you... Really? You need to just stop talking right now. My words, I swear, I'm not trying to make this hard on... What's wrong with you? Why are you still talking? Waitress breaks harsh interrogation, giggles again at the emotional pretzel she's twisted me into. Goro and I sit quietly, feeling like school kids that just got in trouble with the principal. That was fun. As we very meekly order our dinner, it's clear that we won't be giving her a hard time to... Crap, I'm still doing it! I swear on my life, this can't get weirder. I like her. This place is great. Of course. Now it's gone. Sorry, bro. You're buying dinner. What? I gotta buy my own going-away dinner? You Neko people have no sense of humor. Goro mock frowns. I at least appreciate him keeping his volume down, not broadcasting to the whole restaurant that I'm Neko people. Yeah, man, my treat. It's a way to thank you for volunteering to take Pepper. I'm gonna miss him. That doesn't mean I'm letting him off the hook. So, tell me about all the naked shower time you and Pepper had together. Gotcha! Maybe I'm inspired by the waitress's sharp wit and the way she knocked Goro off his perch. And although I don't for a moment think that Goro and Pepper ever showered naked together, I'm enjoying pressing him in any way I can, which might keep him unbalanced. Goro's shocked expression morphs into his signature grin, cunning and ready to cause chaos. What kind of person do you think I am? You don't want me to answer that. Shots fired! Ouch! Okay, I deserve that. Look, you know I consider Pepper to be like a weird sister. Never had any hanky-panky. Hanky-panky? Who talks like that? I'm not one of those pervy Neko bangers, but I can't say there weren't times I was tempted. Goro's casual admission caused me to blink several times. Even in all our history, it genuinely surprised me he'd admit to something like that. Then again, this could be Goro messing with me. Okay, you guys don't want to know the weird stuff the Tomo Bros have talked about. I keep the channel, PG-13, with occasionally dabbling our toes in the R rating, but yeah, bros are weird when they know they're in good fellow company, is what I'm saying. Of course, then again, you guys have seen the games I played, so maybe you already know. Who knows?
I don't think that they do. I don't. They don't understand, and it's okay.
Such a pervert, Goro. Oh, really? This guy from the guy who told me his first experience with his Claudia. I get defensive and don't smile. What the? You told me that right before you moved out. Claudia climbed into your bed and curled up with you while you were sleeping. You woke up spooning her with your hand on her boob. Oh my god. I heard you telling how great it felt, but you were terrified that your mom would walk in any moment and murder you for defiling your Neko. Can't believe I forgot about that, and I totally forgot I told Goro. Warning that spooning leads to forking.
It doesn't have to. I mean...
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily. Let's be clear here. Years ago, right before I graduated and before I met Mia, It happened on the weekend, so I was sleeping in. Mom always eventually woke me up on days like that. I was confused at first, but Claudia's warmth, her soft skin, the turmoil I felt knowing it's beyond taboo to be intimate with a Neko, but never having had a girlfriend, the basic part of me just wanted to give in to the yearning and enjoy her body being pressed against me, just wanting to pull her closer. It was difficult to tear myself away from her and get out of bed that morning. The feel of her, the scent of her was intoxicating. My hands... Dude, your face is still red right now. Goro bursts out laughing. I laugh to hide my embarrassment. A toast to perverts. Can't help but smile as I raise my glass to meet his. Really gonna miss you, and I'm just not sure why. Dinner conversation relaxes after that, except into old habits of turning everything into a joke and finishing each other's sentences. At one point, Goro mentions Mia. She sucker you into taking her back yet? You guys finally broken up. No, wait, what do you mean, finally? His face lights up, both shock and glee. Goro's voice gets louder and his words come quickly, as if chased out of him by some strange and intense relief. Holy crap, you did it! You really broke up! It's about damn time. I was worried that she came back and you let her. First of all, keep your voice down. Second, I'm still stuck on your finally. Let's just say I won't miss her. It wasn't the healthiest of relationships. I'm proud of you, man. He grins like a rat with a wheel of cheese. How long have you? Always. Whole time. Why didn't I ever say anything? Seriously? She's gorgeous and you were thinking with your junk. He does have a point. It's easier to see in retrospect, but I'm sure there was more to our relationship beyond physical attraction. Wasn't there? Goro sees my mood start to sink and dives in for rescue in his Goro way. Tell you what I'll do. Let me give you my aunt's number. She'll take good care of you. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. This is what I was expecting from Goro. Hey, you know what? Speaking from experience, it is not a bad idea to let an older woman into your life. I'm just saying.
Oh no, you're surrounded by cute cat girls. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you. Now, mommy's gonna have to take care of you there.
We just got done saying there's taboo, like it's taboo to try to be in a relationship with a Neko. So it's like, you know what? If Auntie wants to join the fray, I say let her.
Perhaps we have finally found the MILF, pursuing.
On what planet is you pimping me out to your aunt going to make me feel better? Besides, your aunt, are you trying to get me killed? She's a nice lady. What the hell? Healthy sex life. You told me she was a waterbed and she hosts bondage party. Holy crap, that escalated freaking fast.
Come on, Snek. You want to go after the ant? Come on, Snek.
I need that panel from JoJo Part 5 where it's zooming in on Giorno and you just see him sweating.
Oh, see, he was expecting, what's her face being like, I'm hesitant.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's such a great idea. You and your junk should call her. Gross, dude. She's my aunt. Goro stops
gross.
and gets that look. It's a look that says, I'm quite pleased with myself. Watch as I turn this problem into an opportunity. Goro doesn't speak like that, but I prepare myself some wildly outrageous idea of his. Something that will make him hooking me up with his fetish yawn seem like a good idea. He studies me with his strategic smile. Ah, yes, we know that as the Pugum grin. Hey. Here it comes. Now that you and Mia are here, so you should totally ask that waitress for her phone number.
That's actually not a terrible idea.
Wow. I was about to say, Goro, I thought you were going to come up with something way more crass, but
that's actually not a terrible idea. She seems like she,
I don't hate this idea.
I mean, not for nothing. I'll just say this. I don't know exactly about. I actually do know, but I'm just saying, personally, for me, Mrs. Ditaku needs to be able to take a joke. And she seriously just called out my best friend on a really, really bad prank, so...
Yeah, as I say, she kind of owned both of us, so, I'd say this is Mrs. Ditaku par excellence right here. Ladies, he's single.
I am, in fact, actually single.
I look over at the fiery waitress. Compared to Goro's usual ideas, this one is fairly mild. For that reason alone, I actually take a moment and try imagining asking her out. I don't know if I have
It involves
type.
going, hey, I know you just made a fool of my friend. We should hang out sometime.
I'm into that. I can count
You're
on...
into humiliation. I am not a proud detective.
I will tell you guys a fun personal story. I can count only on one hand, which I don't have, how many times I've had the spinal fortitude to ask a lady out in person. But there was one time, Titaku and I went out grocery shopping.
It is. Okay.
It is,
okay.
yes, this story. And the thing is, he and I were bantering, as we often do. And the thing is, we've known each other a very, very long time. Like, about 25 years now. Much as that ages me physically to say out loud. So, we were bantering, and there's this lady a few paces ahead of us as we're heading for the front door. And I forget what it is we said, but there was some exchange of barbs. And she busts out laughing and turns...
We were joking with each other, and we brought up, I want to say I brought up Striper, and you were saying, oh yeah, that's a good one.
No,
because I remember
we started with
she came over and she was like, Striper, I love that band.
Yep.
At which point you look at me, I look at you, and you're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask for her number. And I'm like, Godspeed. I gave him a salute. He went over.
I went over and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm not trying to be a creep or anything, but the conversation has started. Would it be okay if I asked for your number? And she presents to me her left hand and the wedding band on it, and she says, well, I'm married, but if I wasn't, you definitely would have gotten it. She was really cool about it, and I appreciate the fact that she was.
And you know what? He came back, and he's like, she's married. At which point I clapped him on the back, said, you know what? You did good, Charlie Brown. At least you shot your shot.
Yeah. No,
she was actually really cute.
She was.
So.
And the fact that she took it in good humor, all the more so.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, married lady, I hope you went home and immediately went to your husband and was like, guess what happened to me today? And what have you done for me recently? So I know he'll appreciate that.
And they had good taste in music even.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, seriously, Striper's really good.
Striper's
they actually
fantastic.
just released an album like 2 years ago.
Yep.
I did not hear that one, but Yahweh, which is the one they did before, is fan-freaking-tastic, let me tell you.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I got one of their greatest hits CDs, and I do not regret the purchase. I don't know if I have a type of person that I'm attracted to. I was used to being alone before Mia. And this waitress's personality is nothing like Mia's. She is fun and has a very quick wit. Just, well, for starters, it's weird to ask someone you just met out on a date, and even weirder to ask someone at their work for a date.
Yes and
no.
You gotta strike the iron's hot, and honestly, as being a waitress, she's gonna be used to it.
But she deals with the public all the time, and I guarantee you, like, worse opportunities than you have tried. So,
and hey, you're not drunk.
Yeah, you are sober and clear-headed right now. This is not the worst case scenario happening here.
Yeah, because let me tell you, she works at a place like this. I will guarantee you money that there are people that are like, you are very proud. Yeah. She's like, yeah.
Yeah, I heard it before. Whatever. Pay your tab. And even if it wasn't, I know I'm not ready for another relationship yet. That's very mature of you. Good on you, Anon-kun.
I don't know. I feel like you're wasting. You're missing an opportunity.
Sometimes, like, the thing with that is, like, sometimes you gotta to gauge where your head and your heart are at. You gotta be
I get that, and I understand. I mean, having been in my last major relationship, and I'm gonna be real, I took that poorly, but at the same time, though, that was total bullshit. That was total bullshit.
No, it was. I know, dude.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And, I'm just saying, that she's. I'm just saying,
No,
I'm
I
just
get
saying,
it.
she's right there, and so
Well, yes, but the name of the game is OmOneko, not, cute waitress adjacent to OmOneko, so we know what's going to happen. Well, maybe. I don't know. Actually, I don't know the answer to that, but we will find out, I guess.
I don't know. It seems kind of taboo, but at the same time, though, you do raise homo.
I mean, I guess we'll find out. That's a very normal suggestion for you, Goro. Are you feeling all right? This is a good idea. She's cute and she's all about service. I bet she'd service the hell out of you. I roll my eyes.
Wow, I did not. Okay, actually, no. Now that I know you're. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we
Right.
definitely expected that from Goro. I'm just kidding.
Also, I'm totally imagining now because of that comment right there. I'm gonna get later a screenshot with like, "Hey, Ditaku."
What, should I just superimpose Itaku's head over Goro's body?
I mean, you could, yeah. And then there's just a very frustrated Snek opposite him.
Yeah. I'm just kidding, but also totally serious. Ask for her number. The service, too. Especially the number. Just ask her. I bet she'll give it to you. Goro is right that she is cute, but the Mia breakup's too fresh. I'm still working out a lot of things. Even now, I'm not sure if I miss Mia or if I just don't want to be alone. Not that I'm truly alone. Claudia and Pepper have been keeping me busy, but that's not the same. I want to care about someone who actually cares about me, but I need to fix some things about me first. Reflecting on all that time I was with Mia, was I pretending that we had something that wasn't really there? Goro knows both of us, and, well, he was waiting for an inevitable end. Not the healthiest of relationships. Look, right now you're thinking it's too soon, all that touchy-feely, tortured poet hippie stuff I know you like to wallow in. Trust me, best thing for you is to get back out there. Nothing else, he's convinced
Okay, this
himself.
is definitely not me.
You are the tortured poet of the Tomo Bros.
You just don't understand my romantic soul.
If nothing else, he's convinced himself. I quietly encourage him to drop it. Not tonight, but I'll think about it. Goro still has that look. Goro and Pepper share a common personality trait. Once they get going, there's no stopping them. And right now, it's bothering him that I might not harass our waitress for her phone number. She likes you, I can tell. And here she comes.
Hey, you know what? I will tell you this. Modern tipping culture has been a disaster for human interactions, especially in regards to people in the customer service industry expecting you do no labor, and yet they're expecting you to have an additional 15, 20, 30% upcharge just for the fact that they interact with you. However, the one exception I will put to the fact that I will not tip is if there is a waitress or a service individual that goes out of their way to flirt with me. I'm not expecting anything, but you know what? If a cute girl is going to smile and chit-chat with me, I consider this, the cute girl talks to me tax.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I'm just saying,
if they do a good job, I will tip. Absolutely.
Yes.
If they do a garbage job, then I'm going to leave a rusty penny in the credit card slot of the little thing, the receipt holder.
It's one of those things where, if they go out of their way to actually talk to me and, be like, oh, you're so funny, when I'm very clearly not funny. But, they're still talking to me, and they're still kind of cute. I'll be like, you know what? You earned it. It's okay.
Fair cop. Yep. I get it. My friend wants to ask you something. Waitress turns expectantly to me. Okay, I only get one option here, but I guess as a formality, I will save, as I have not in a while.
I'm not drunk enough for this. Hey there.
I've known Goro way too long. I figured you'd put me on the spot like this, so I smile at her and ask, do you have any cat bread? Cat bread, meaning meat or fish that's about to get tossed, and that markets or restaurants as long as get the people to leave outside for a feral neighborhood neko. Or, in the rare case, someone has a domestic to bring home. She smiles and heads back to the kitchen. It's rare that I'm able to undermine Goro's scheming like that. I'm unable to hide a cocky smile peeking out of the corner of my mouth. He gives a smirk in acknowledgement. Dude, I'm telling you, get to get out of the house. Need to meet more people. It's a whole world out there. You should see it. He's right. I don't have a social life. I only ever went out and did anything when Goro or Mia wanted to.
That does raise another question. What does MC-kun do for
work?
Employment?
Well,
yes.
He may not be employed. He did mention that his father's passing involved a very large insurance payout. So he might be sitting on on savings right now. But he's going to want to think about that long term for sure.
Yes, that's true. Because, old Johnny Government's going to come by and be like, you have property, don't you know?
We need to tax it because, World War II isn't over yet.
Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, real estate taxes only exist in order to ensure that you are constantly required to have an income. That is the only reason why they exist.
And they literally did not exist until World War II, and it was supposed to be an emergency wartime tax. And was supposed to disappear as soon as the war was declared over. And guess what? It didn't.
You do not hate FDR enough.
Seriously. Cotton Hill had the right idea on that. Giving FDR the finger is always acceptable. Now, Mia's gone, and Goro leaves tomorrow. I really think he's worried about me. The irony is that he just dumped pepper on me to make that harder. It's incredibly awkward telling someone, oh, by the way, I have OmOneko, and can sometimes get away with it by saying, we had rats, but now I have two. I appreciate your concern, but I'm in a good place right now. Really? You think so? Yeah, really, I do. And that's what matters.
Well, you do. Alternatively, there is the Korean strategy. Are you familiar with this, Professor?
About their dietary habits, or are you talking about something else?
No. Actually, it's something else entirely.
Okay.
This is Uncle Ditaku saying, this is Uncle Ditaku caveat saying, this is not something you should just pull out of the blue. This is like high-level flirt strategy there, Jimmy. So don't just pull this out of, nowhere, because this will probably get, the police asking you questions. But this is what you do. You go up to a girl or a boy, there might be Sally's out there.
Yep.
You go up to a girl or a boy. You say, hey, would you like to go see my cat? And, they go, oh, this is wonderful. I love cat. And so you take them to your house, your apartment. They're like, oh, where's the cat? You close the door. Go up behind them. Meow.
Never take dating advice from a puga. This is our moral for today.
I said this is high-level flirt strategy, okay? I said this is high-level flirt strategy. So don't use this on people that you just know. This is something
that
use
you've
on
been
people
dating for a while. Yes.
Yes. It's so. Just so you're aware,
waitress returns with a bigger than expected takeout bag. There's enough shrimp, chicken, and sashimi for a few meals. This is a huge amount of food. We're really not supposed to do this anymore, so this will be our little secret. Dude, she is flirting with you, Anon-kun. Get it together.
Yeah.
Thanks, you're awesome. Yes, yes I am. Waitress gives a lopsided smile. Goro grins like a shark. Told you, she likes you. Yeah, I think Goro won that argument. I ended up paying for dinner, but that's fine. Before Goro leaves, he asks about Pepper. I know he's wanted to ask me all night, but for some reason he waited till just now. I tell him she's adjusting, and I'll leave out the drama. He's got more important things to worry about, like boot camp and his future after that. Besides, Pepper and Claudia started to tolerate each other. It's an awkward pause.
Yeah, it almost seems like they are kind of bonding.
Yeah, they're finding mutual interests.
Not for nothing, that is kind of the way that female cats will be. Female cats will actually bond far quicker than if it's male-female. So if it's male-male or if they're female-female, they'll bond quicker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I will notice though, male toms, they will bond incredibly quickly.
Yep.
especially if it's one older and one younger.
Yep.
The younger ones will, the older ones will take the younger ones in, like incredibly quickly. It's shocking. I don't know if it's just like, them being like,
Stick
these
with
idiot
me,
kids,
kid.
they don't know what they're doing, or if it's just, they're kind of lonely. But yeah.
Stick with me, kid. I'll show you the ropes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
There's an awkward pause before Goro gets in his car and drives off. As his taillights fade into the distance, I keep waving at him even long after he can't see me anymore. It takes me a moment to realize I'm alone. I head home, taking that first step into an unknown future and pondering how radically different my life has gotten in just 1 week. The short walk home feels much longer tonight. The night's ambient music is broken by an unwelcome sound. Rustling in the bushes? A shrill screech like nothing I've heard before. Torturous, piercing, makes every nerve in my body sear with the wash of adrenaline and holds me frozen in cold fear. My throat and grip on the bag of cat bread tighten reflexively. There is something in the bushes. My breathing struggles to keep up with the quickening heartbeat. The best I can summon are small involuntary gasps. The thing in the bushes responds with its own broken, labored wheezing. Oh my god, it's a rat. A giant rat, about to leap on me and tear my guts out, just steps from my front door. My mouth is so dry I can't swallow. I need to do something. Run. Every fiber of my being wants to, but I can't move. A flat snap breaks my trance. Claudia's opened the front door. The signal from my brain to my body seems to take forever. Run! I lose all composure as I sprint towards the open door, willing myself to make it, expecting any second to be leapt upon and eaten alive. Each uncertain step feels like it will be my last. As I throw myself inside, no rolling of relief washes over me. I made it. Claudia was there for me. I quickly step aside so she can close the door. But she doesn't. Instead, Claudia ducks past me with Pepper right behind her. My relief leaves with them, and I'm alone in the foyer. Come back! They don't. I cautiously follow them out. Fully alert, they face the threat in the bushes. A seasoned hunter as a kitten, Pepper falls right back into that role. Her head darts back and forth, working to identify exactly what is hiding in the bushes in the front of our house, determining friend or foe. Though she will choose to do what she judges it to be foe as we gravely concerned. What holds my attention is Claudia. Despite how big she is, she deftly snaked past me in an instant, placing herself to me and whatever's in the bushes. She makes a low, almost inaudible growling hum. I've never seen her move like that or act like this before. Her placid demeanor is gone. Still fully focused on the deep shadows enveloping the bushes, Claudia touches my knee with her tail to track exactly where I am. Girls, come back inside. Neither Neko breaks her focus on the bushes. I have to admit, standing here with two capable Nekos in full fight display, crouched, coiled, hands and nails at the ready, placing themselves between me and the hidden danger, it's exhilarating. The idea of them dangerous and ready to deliver harm upon a threat to me breaks through the fear that seconds ago had me impotent and helpless. Still, we need to get inside. The thing in the bushes lets out another blood-curdling shriek, softer, more wretched sounding this time, but still causing me to reflexively retreat a few steps. Claudia and Pepper react, shedding their crouched fight poses for a more upright and alert posture. They focus directly on a spot beneath the living room window. Claudia turns and looks at me in the eye. She gently takes my hand. Hey! With an ear turned back towards me, Claudia leads me into the house. We go into the bathroom. She quietly states, emphasizing the command by holding both of her hands out with her palms toward me. Stay now. Did I just get told what to do by my cat? She leaves, closing the door behind her. I don't know what's weirder at this moment. Claudia's directive to stay in the bathroom, or that I'm actually obeying it. I try to wrap my mind around what's happening. If what's out there is so dangerous that she put me in here for my safety, then why on earth would she and Pepper stay outside? Well, this definitely is a safe prompt if ever there was one. So we're back with more OmOneko, and at what I'm assuming is a pivotal moment.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Drunk Taku here. Brought to you by Raspberry Hard Cider. Please drink responsibly. Unlike me, I
You know, drunk
Drank a
taku
lot.
on visual novels does seem to be a recurring theme. Do you guys think I should make a playlist for drunk taku visual novels?
It's going to require me to drink more. I feel bad. I'm going to feel sorry for my liver.
That grows back.
Ugh.
So
This is a bad precedent. You're going to tell future Otaku, I'm sorry, you need to drink for the content.
it's for
You need
the
to drink
pure.
for the content.
It's for the pure people. It's
For
not
the
my
pure. They like it when you're drunk and you make stupid jokes.
being drunk and sassy and talking about Japanese women's backsides.
I will happily talk about Japanese female ass. I love. Okay, look, all right. There's the Japanese Anon, and I
Right.
feel like the Twisted Tail studio will appreciate this. There's a Japanese Anon who spoken truisms that I think about many days. Many people talk about, like tweets that they think about every day. I think about
Right.
this every day.
Okay.
This Japanese Anon said a truth, and he said, "We are all brothers here. Tits are life. Ass is hometown." And I think, and I nod my head.
I understand.
I understand. And I hope that, the whole lot to love devs, take this in good faith, because I think it in good faith. Mitsuru is hometown.
I think that is 100% fair to say.
And I'm nodding right now, and you can't see it, and I'm sorry.
Well, so am I. So, we have just been escorted here by Claudia and forced into the bathroom as there is a huge rat awaiting them outside. So now, we need to make a decision. She told us to sit still, but now we have some options available to us.
I feel like you should call the cops, honestly. This is what I would do in this situation.
See, that makes sense, because first off, it's not in defiance of what she told us to do. Second, our dude, thought he heard a rat and basically locked into place like a mannequin. So he's not going to be any help.
I feel like that is the civic correct thing to do.
Yes. I am in full agreement with you. We are going to call for help. I feel stupid standing here, and that makes me angry. With every moment that passed by, the anger grows.
Oh my God, Snek, he's literally me, FR.
I guess he is. This past week has sucked. My girlfriend wigs out and dumps me. My best friend dumps his Neko on me, then tells me he's leaving for the army. I almost get eaten alive in front of my house, and now my Neko has locked me in the bathroom. And I'm just like, oh, it's no big deal. Damn it. A week ago, my life was so different. Mia and I were getting ready to go out and celebrate her getting her first car. She even insisted that she buy it on her own without any help. And then she wrecks it on the drive home. Hits an echo. Good job, Mia. Wait a minute. Come to think about it, that was weird on her part. Not that she hits an echo part, the insisting she buy it on her own part. My mind latches onto this piece of twisted logic. Yeah, I have a healthy monthly disbursement because of the settlement from Dad's accident, but I'm no sugar daddy. Am I? Well, I wasn't charging her anything to live here. She never offered to help with the bills. I was paying for all the shopping, and I did all the cooking. Did she assume at some point that I was going to buy her a car? And then when I didn't, she made a big show of doing it on her own. It does sound like Mia. Stop. Why am I thinking about Mia and not the giant rat in the front yard? It's because selfishly
That's a good
don't...
question there, MC Coon. Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say the human brain spirals, especially in panic mode, so...
Don't I know it.
It's because, selfishly, I don't want to deal with the problem out there. I'm not in any way equipped to deal with a rat, especially a giant rat. The thought of going back out there sends a shiver down my spine. I just want to lock the front door.
Professor.
What's that?
I'm sorry, this entire time we've been talking about a giant rat, I've been thinking of something.
Do tell.
Are you familiar with Princess Bride?
Yes. You mean the rodents
Are
of
you
unusual
familiar
size?
with the ROUSs?
Rodents of unusual size?
Exactly,
I don't
yes,
believe
yes.
they exist.
I don't think they exist. And then, so...
And
okay.
suddenly, yeah. The thought of going back out there sends a shiver down my spine. I just want to lock the front door and leave Pepper and Claudia to deal with it. That is a dark fantasy. I would never do that. What's the point of having Nekos if not to deal with rats? This is anger talking.
I mean, it seems like something they're specifically designed to, engage with. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Pepper literally was trained since she was a child in order to deal with such things.
That's true. That is very true. This is the anger talking. I know I don't actually feel that way, but I need to vent and release some of the choking anxiety. The thing should not be out there. Claudia should not have put me in here. Pepper should not be out here at all. Then, having gotten the frustration out of my system, solution pops into my head clear as day. I'll call the cops. That's what you're supposed to do when you see a rat. Like all the ads say, if you see one, call. The cops will come and shoot it. Why didn't I think of that from the start? I also have to get Claudia and Pepper inside before the cops get here, or one of my neighbors sees... Oh no. Where the hell's my phone? I check my pockets twice, as if my phone were somehow hiding behind my wallet, or if I check enough times it may suddenly and magically appear in one of the places I've already checked. I must have dropped my phone with the bag of cat bread when I first got spooked out in the yard. Can nothing go right? The grinding noise I hear is my teeth, clenched teeth. This whole crappy week has been crappy all week.
That's not what he says.
We're still in the first 10 minutes of the recording. Let's not get carried away now. It's amazing how quickly my anger dissipates.
So what I'm supposed to say is, motherfucker.
It's amazing how quickly my anger dissipates and the bathroom door suddenly slides open. It's Claudia. Before I can open my mouth to vent my anger about being stuck in here, Claudia steps past me, grabs a blanket from the cabinet, and rushes back down the hallway. As I try to process why Claudia needs a blanket, it takes me a moment to realize I'm alone again. Maybe they'll throw it on the rat and then kick and stomp it to death? I shudder at the thought of the violence involved in what is essentially a Neko blanket party on a behemoth rat. Effective, but extremely messy. On top of that, the blanket's too big to fit in the incinerator. Finally, I get myself to move. But, for some reason, they're inside? Both Nekos standing in the living room, staring at something by the dining table. Something I can't see because the furniture isn't blocking my view. Oh, crap. A whisper escapes me. I blink and rub my eyes. Unsurprisingly, like the cartoon my life has become, when I open them again, it's still there. I want to rush back to the bathroom and lock the door. What the... Shh. Pepper shushes me. She follows up with a very stern look, then turns her attention back to the living room floor. I repeat my question, keeping my voice much quieter this time. What is this? Neko. I know! It's a freaking Neko! I pinch the bridge of my nose and breathe slowly, trying to relax. Wildcat. Wildcat? Oh, a feral. The thing in the bushes was not a rat. It was a feral Neko. And for some reason, Claudia, because she's kind, or Pepper because she wants to irritate me, or both, decided to bring it inside while I was stuffed away in a bathroom. The feral freezes at the sight of me. At least I know why Claudia wanted me out of the way. Ferals avoid humans. Alright, but none of this explains why is it in the house? Hurt. I start to protest the lunacy of having a feral in the house when I get a clear sight of it. It's filthy, practically naked, covered in dirt and dried blood. Torn clothes hang off it in a sad and troubling way.
How is he getting clothes if it's feral?
I might be wearing, like, what used to be clothes that are basically just, like, scratched or, like, torn up. One arm, caked with blood, is held close to its body, and part of its tail is bent and limp. It smells heavily of musk and sweat and peaty earth and damp leaves, the pungent and coppery aroma of old blood and untreated injury. It tries to rise.
Oh, that's a lovely smell.
Yeah. Tries to rise, then collapses back into a heap. Yeah, very hurt. Whatever happened to it was serious, that much I can tell. Claudia drapes the blanket over the feral again and quickly steps away. The feral clumsily retreats, hiding itself as deeply as possible under both the blanket and the coffee table. It looks quickly from me to the different objects in the living room. We must all be insane. Claudia brings a cup of milk to the feral, who completely ignores it. She leaves it nearby. Meanwhile, Pepper impatiently taps her foot. She looks from the feral to me and back again, waiting to see what I'm going to do. The feral closes its eyes tightly and trembles. Then it appears to fade out, losing consciousness, before quickly regaining it and again sharply scanning the room. Claudia's great tail swishes back and forth as she watches the quivering lump on the living room floor. I have no idea what to do. This situation is way beyond me. The whole house is filled with a quiet, nervous energy. I pick up my phone and bag of cat bread off the ground from where I dropped them earlier. It's not a giant rat. I could still call the cops or an ambulance, but there's no way I can hide that I have 2 other Nekos in the house. Even though I'm not breaking any law, the idea of people finding out keeps me from calling the authorities. Plus, the cops are an ambulance. An injured feral? They'll just kill it. With a resigned sigh, I dial. Dude, you missing that much already? Goro, you're not gonna believe what I'm about to tell you. Goro listens as I quickly explain everything that happened from the restaurant at this moment. Totally have to see this. On my way over. The Pharaoh.
Oh, Goro is he's a paramedic, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could theoretically help.
Yep. Pharaoh continues to tremble and hide in the blanket as best it can. I have no idea about treating an injured human, let alone a hurt Neko. I'm totally useless right now. All I can come up with is to dim the lights and take Claudia and Pepper into my bedroom. The Pharaoh's in no condition to wreck the place. We'll leave it alone. Like, I guess that's all you can do in this situation. True to his word, Goro arrives quickly. For a while, he just watches the Pharaoh from the far side of the room. Several times he appears about to say something inappropriate, then thinks better of it, swallowing some snide comment. He laughs softly to himself and gives me a slight shake of his head. Then, while still keeping distance between him and the Pharaoh, Goro puts his medical bag on the sofa. His hands emerge with a syringe and a small bottle. What's that? Antihistamines. Want some? I need to relax it before it has a stroke. Antihistamines make Neko sleep. Even I know that. Seeing the lingering concern on my face, Goro adds, "Don't worry, I'm not putting it down."
Amongst other things, antihistamines will also cause their reaction to allergens to be lowered. For instance, if you're a lot of allergy medications like Claritin or Zyrtec,
right?
Those are technically antihistamines.
Okay.
So,
okay, this is a really random observation, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
sure.
But take a look at our buddy here. Now, I want you to picture in your mind for just a second that there's kind of like an X running across the bridge of his nose. Doesn't he look a lot like Okuyasu?
Yeah, I think it's his eyes.
Yeah, the thick eyebrows and the...
It's the cast of his eyes. Yeah, Okuyasu has much more open eyes than Goro does.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, I think that's it. Also, I mean, yeah, it's the fact that he's got a very strong chin.
Yeah,
much like Okuyasu does.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, Okuyasu is kind of his own worst enemy in a lot of ways. Like, the dude actually has a really strong face.
He does.
And he's got a really strong stand, and yet, he's kind of an idiot, but we love him anyway.
That is kind of like Goro, except that he actually, is pretty well educated for being a bit of a troll. He gets close and looks me squarely in the eye, pausing before speaking again. Although, I could. He's serious. I look at the trembling Pharaoh. We get to decide right now if it lives or dies? Doesn't look that bad. Dude, it's a train wreck. He's right. The Pharaoh really looks terrible. But even so, I mean... Goro takes my hesitation in stride, knowing I don't have it in me. I never put a Pharaoh down before. I mean, I can, just thankfully never had to. Doing something like that has got to mess you up.
It's true.
Yeah, seriously, especially because you'd be looking basically at a human face.
Mama Pugum always found it difficult to work with cats.
Yeah.
She had to do comparative anatomy because she's a registered nurse.
Right.
This is deepest lore time for you who care about such things. Mama Pugum is actually a registered nurse. She was in surgical ICU, and she had, and I'm sure she still has, some stories that honestly she's never told me. The ones that she's told me have left me just kind of in awe. The woman saw things that honestly no one really should see. Construction workers that went terribly wrong. People that had things that happened to them that sent them to the emergency room. A mother that threw herself down, sat on a ice pick, perforated her intestine, and caused her to have sepsis. a man who fell on rebar at a construction site.
Yeah.
Another thing that I'm not going to, impose upon you, but
the medical field is a challenging one, and it takes a certain kind of person.
Yes, and so these are things that Mama Pugam had to deal with, and there was like whenever I was little, there was always a don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, and it was only till later that I realized the reason why she did that was because she didn't want me to have to go to the emergency room and have to haunt some other poor person's, nightmares with this small child proceeded to throw himself down right onto broken glass or something like that.
Yeah.
Then they literally have to, put you back together.
Yeah, it can happen. You'd be surprised what you can live through.
Yes. The human life is ironically basically a beautiful, resilient machine. The problem is it's also extremely fragile at the same time.
Yep.
It's frustrating that way.
It certainly is. He waits till the Pharaoh's energy wanes, and cautiously approaches and injects the antihistamines into the rump at the base of the tail. Here you go, kitty. Don't maul the hot man with the syringe. The Pharaoh reflexively pulls away, weakly swiping at the place the needle stung as Goro steps back out of range. First time I ever poked a Pharaoh. Quickly, the Pharaoh stops trembling and relaxes completely. Its nervous breathing slows. What are you going to do? I joined the army. I'm going to boot camp tomorrow. Were you paying attention? No, jackass. I mean, what are you going to do about the Pharaoh? What do you want me to do? I don't know. Fix it? Fix it? You know it's not a toaster, right? Look, just do what you can. I don't want it to die in my house. Goro smiles at me. It should make me feel better, but it doesn't. I save the cat bread in the refrigerator and leave Goro to treat the Pharaoh while I try to deal with the domestics. Some tea will make for a good distraction. My room is as far away as we can be from Goro and the Pharaoh. Pepper's pout and rigid posture speak volumes on her feelings about Goro's presence down the hall. Ignoring the tea, she goes into her own room. I was so focused on the Pharaoh I didn't even consider how she'd react to Goro coming over. That's a fair point, actually.
Yeah, she's probably put out the fact that the man who she loved took care of is suddenly returned.
Tending to a different Neko. Yeah.
Yeah, another woman. Oh my god.
There'd be time later to deal with Pepper, soothe her some way. Right now, Goro and the Pharaoh are a bigger concern. It's as if Goro flipped a switch. No longer the jester, he's become Doc Goro. He examines the Pharaoh systematically and thoroughly, gently palpating with light, cautious movements of his fingers in areas that show no obvious injury, then attending to the more conspicuous wounds. He knows his stuff, and he should. He's been doing it long enough. He'll make a great army medic. When he finally finishes up, we go to the kitchen. It's blind in one eye, but that doesn't look to be new. As for fresh injuries, I'm guessing cat versus car. The arm has some nasty cuts. I cleaned it up. It should heal over time. Chipped tooth, not a big deal. Tail's messed up. Did what I could, but you'll need to watch it. Wait, watch it? Are you seriously suggesting you want me to keep a feral in my house? I was getting to that before someone interrupted. It has broken ribs, probably, and it's half-starved. If you release it now, it will die out there, so... Damn it, Goro! I really believe that my hands gripping my skull are the only thing keeping my head from exploding.
I get the sense that it was probably going to die anyway.
It seems like she was already kind of in critical condition. Had he not done what he did, it probably would have been too late.
Yes.
I look at the pile of broken feral passed out on my living room floor. Don't worry, buddy. It's way more scared of you than you are of it. Highly doubt that. Just be careful and don't underestimate it. After a long pause, he switches from Doc Goro back to Buddy Goro. Hey, how wild would it be if this is the same cat that Mia hit with her car? Goro success.
I was legit thinking that myself, actually.
When he was talking in the kitchen about the cat being hit by a car, I was like, is it? Like, if some of the injuries are old, like, that could be explained by this, which means, like, it's had to have spent the last week in just racked, agonizing pain. It's like, of course it's going to have zero energy, so... I don't know. I guess we'll see if it's able to tell us. Goro successfully distracts me from the shocking news that I'll be caring for an injured feral simply by mentioning Mia's name. Mia, did I tell you she fit all her stuff in 2 bags? Everything. 2 bags. Yeah, you mentioned it a few times at dinner. You know, Mia always kind of scared me. After a night with that waitress, I'm thinking all women scare you. After a night with that waitress, I'm thinking you might be right. The sinister grin means that I'm about to receive some of Goro's teasing. Speaking of scared, here it comes. Do you really crap your pants thinking you were going to be eaten by some giant monster rat? Goro's not asking a question. He's winding me up so he can have a laugh at my expense. I gave him a look that says, I'm not in the mood for this flavor of crap. It makes him laugh anyway. Goro, please.
You know, this begs the question, like, how shitty was Goro's, house that he had to, get Pepper in order to deal with it? That begs a question.
If the rats in this universe are that big, that's horrifying. Like, a rat infestation would be like invading by a small army. Like, even if there's not that many, the sheer size would split the difference. Oh god, that's terrifying. And if the rats had stands...
look a lot more, not to make that joke.
Bug eaten. Oh god, no. Heal me, Josuke. Ew. Goro, please tell me that
you know what, Josuke? Here, have some marbles. Oh, okay, this is enough. Yeah, it is.
But why did you say it like that? Why did you say it like that?
It'll be fine. What are you talking about? Have the marbles, Josuke.
Also, I smuggled some rifle ammunition. Wait, why? They're more accurate than marbles. Jotaro, why?
Jotaro, why? Because Kakyoin didn't make it. Josuke, Kakyoin didn't make it. He couldn't survive story mode. He couldn't survive story mode.
He dies in his own arcade mode. Kakyoin, just like being Kakyoin is suffering. Goro, please tell me your list of conspiracies doesn't include believing that the photos of huge rats are all fake. On the contrary, I know they're real. The guy I worked with saw one. My eyes get big again. This could be Goro setting up a prank. Well, a dead one. Ferals aren't the only things getting hit by cars. This showing is very serious. Maybe it's not a prank this time. Buddy said it was huge, scrawny, skin and bones, really mean looking. He bagged it and couldn't wait to toss it in the hospital incinerator. You believe him? Who knows? He was drunk half the time. But I believe he believed it. He would get really pale telling the story. He just said that even dead, it was scary as hell. Just wrong to see something that big. But you said that you know they're real. And I do. I open my mouth to point out the hole in his logic, but Goro ignores me and continues. I'm sure that if they were hanging out in bushes waiting to leap on sappy guys like you, or if they were anything more than super rare, there'd be teams of cops with guns all over the streets. Goro fakes a cheesy television announcer voice. Calling Rat Patrol, help! My best friend with 3 Neko saw a mouse, code brown, we need fresh pants, stat!
Calling Rat Patrol. Help! My best friend with 3 Neko saw a mouse, code brown, we need fresh pants, stat.
I feel my lips tighten and roll my eyes. He shifts gears and tries another tactic. Besides, I don't think I would handle it if my best friend was devoured by some rodent of unusual size. He said the thing! Oh, okay. He said the thing!
Oh, he said the thing!
Seeing that I'm not taking any of the bait, Goro has the good judgment to drop the subject and shift back to Doc Goro. Anyway, when you feed the feral, crush an antihistamine pill into the food. Keep it sedated, it'll stay calm and heal quicker. Stuff I gave it tapers off pretty fast, so it'll probably be half awake soon. You can give it a whole pill tonight without any worry. Then based on its size, 1 pill 2 or 3 times a day should do it. After a pause, he adds,
you understand how difficult it is to give,
a cat a pill.
Cat pills, yes.
Today I actually learned that there are inhalers for cats. And
I was aware of this.
My first question to that was how? And I basically kind of got a verbal shrug in response. But apparently it's a thing that exists.
Yes, it is actually a thing that exists. My, Callie?
Yeah.
Well, she passed away earlier this year. But when she was in her golden years, she actually had to take in basically what amounted to a kitty cat humidifier.
Right.
And it required an inhaler, yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
it was kind of a case of like, are you familiar with inhaler humidifiers for people?
Yeah.
How it's basically like a face mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically just, it's like that. And,
Okay.
with her, it was actually pretty simple. Some of them you have to hold down, but for Callie, she kind of realized very quickly, like, this stuff that's coming out of this mask actually is helping me breathe. So she didn't really struggle or, wiggle.
Okay. That
But
makes
I
sense.
understand that with some of them, yeah, it kind of is like you kind of have to hold them down to, put it into their face.
Checks out.
Yeah.
I got a feeling this cat has a few lives left. I watched the pharaoh sleep, carried far away by the chemicals.
That's a metaphor, right? They don't actually have 9 lives.
Yeah, I
know
think
that
he's just being cheeky.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things. I get this sense from Zoomers sometimes that they're like, well, I'll have 9 lives. Like, it's like a freaking video game. It's like, no, you idiot. It's because they're difficult to kill.
Goro spends a few minutes with Pepper, who tolerates him but doesn't react much. I do hear her pointedly say, Pepper home here, Goro! Fuck off. Maybe you shouldn't have taught her that word, Goro. Dismissing whatever Goro was trying to say to soothe her. Wow. Note to self, do not get on Pepper's bad side. She is one to hold a grudge, but I can't really blame her. I just really hope this doesn't set Pepper back. Ceasefire between Pepper and Claudia seems to be holding the three of us. We're just starting to get into a rhythm. I walk Goro out. Remember, watch the tail. Either it'll heal or it won't. If it doesn't, the doc will need to chop off the bad bit. Oof.
Oh, that's rough.
Good luck to me on that last part. Anyone I call will just want to put it down. I know a guy who knows a guy. I look flatly at Goro and raise an eyebrow. You know a guy. No, I know a guy who knows a guy. A guy I worked with had a cousin who knew this girl. Well, let's just say, if you blow a finger off making illegal fireworks and don't want to get the cops involved, he's the one to call. You're telling me you know someone who's basically a cheesy backroom doctor character from a bad action movie. Or a Shadowrunner. I don't know the guy, I'd never met him, but yeah, he does sound pretty cool.
Hey, I guess what I'm saying is if you ever want to do any Shadowrun deals...
He's the guy to talk to. I have his number. I'll send it to you so if you will have it if things get bad. Thanks, I guess.
I forget what they call back alley Shadowrun doctors. I forget what they're called. Was it like bones? Like bone saws or something like that?
I think bone saws are one of them. I was about to say chop shop, but that's a morgue.
Yeah.
Like, I know some of them... I think bone saws, yeah. I think
Come on, Shadowrun, man. Come on.
Like, come on, that's a really specific bit. There's a lot of shit. Mostly they're just shady doctors, or doctors of questionable repute.
Oh, I didn't realize we were... doctors of questionable repute. You better make sure that you have your sin when you get your back alley, cyberware for your street samurai. You don't want to have any alpha wear on your street samurai. Don't you know that's verboten to have alpha wear? You can't have alpha wear, cyberware.
I'm just saying you better not have a sin if you're going to a back alley doctor, is all I'm saying. Not a real one, anyway.
Or maybe my street samurai was, a Shiawase mascot. Oh. And she got cut off.
Okay, that checks out. Hey, this is what friends are for. Helping move twice, providing first aid to injured ferals, listening to how the evil ex-girlfriend fits all her stuff in the 2 bags. Goro meant every word of that with no trace of sarcasm or irony. No matter how weird or trivial...
And that's how you know that this is not the taku. That totally would have sarcasm and irony.
Yeah, no, he definitely would. No matter how weird or trivial the reason, Goro would drop what he was doing to come help me. He'd do anything for me at any time of the day or night. He has, every time I've asked. Gotta go, man.
He's a good guy.
He is. Tomorrow's the big day, basic training. Wish me luck. I'd say you have it well in hand. This is the second time I've said goodbye to him tonight. It still doesn't feel real. I'm left with 3 Nekos, no girlfriend, and a best friend I won't see anymore. Seriously, god damn it.
God damn it. God damn it, Kyle.
I was about to say category Little Cartman there, yeah. Not sure how I got myself into this situation. I don't see myself getting
I'm
out of
surrounded by
it.
beautiful anime cat girl women. God damn it, Kyle.
I don't see myself getting out of it anytime soon. It's not like I can ignore the feral sleeping in the middle of my living room. What a week. Goro left me his med bag. Quick inventory shows typical first aid stuff. Scissors, over-the-counter medicines, creams, ointments, a lot of bandages and gauze, and among the many other items, a container of baby wipes, which I find odd, but useful.
Hey, man, you shouldn't knock baby wipes.
Yeah, but it's pretty handy to have those around. Goro cleaned up the feral quite a bit, and only around the areas he treated. I slowly approach it, finding it semi-awake, still mostly dosed with antihistamines. Gently and in a soft, reassuring voice, I speak to it. Hey there, I'm gonna clean you up a little more. Feral simply stares at me with its one glazed blue eye. Soft, steady breath hisses through lightly parted lips. I won't hurt you, so don't hurt me either. I'll stop if you want me to. Its good arm, no longer covering its face, is now under its head as a makeshift pillow. The feral obviously can't understand me, but my gentle talking seems to be acting as a lullaby. Pulling back the blanket is like peeling a bandage off of an ugly wound. Oh gosh. Using the baby wipes, I timidly cleaned the feral's face and arms, the whole time speaking in a soft drone. It's okay, you're doing great.
This is her.
Yep. Takes a while. At some point during the lengthy cleanup, it falls asleep again. The thing is really dirty. It gets me thinking about what Goro said about it dying out there. Skinny, even for a feral. Because of rats, there are no more trash cans. The waitress said, oh, that's why everyone has incinerators. That's why that's a big plot point. They can't leave trash cans out because the rats are freaking the size of dogs. Like, the humans are basically at war with the rats. Jeez, I didn't even think about that till now.
No, that's probably true. I mean, but bear in mind, though, the biosphere would adjust for such things.
No, yeah, well, that's probably why we have freaking Nekos, I guess. That's definitely what nature would do. You know, anime cat girls, obviously. The waitress said that they stopped giving away cat bread, so no more free meals left out for ferals, and this one isn't in any shape to hunt. Goro said that your injury's with a week old. Have you been eating at all? I can't handle the pain when I stub my toe. You were probably hit by a car, and you've been dragging yourself around for a week, starving. You're a strong one.
Technically speaking, a human body can survive for about 100 days without food. I mean, you're not going to be enjoying it, but I mean...
So as long as you have water, you're not going to keel over, at least not immediately.
No, if you don't have water, you last about 5 days.
Yep. What if it doesn't recover? The thoughts from nowhere stops me cold. I'm not sure I can handle watching this wild creature die. If anyone else had found it, they'd have called the cops or an ambulance, and it would have been put down already. Mercifully ended the pain and its life. That's just the way it's done. Instead, you're here, in my home. Pile of used baby wipes later. I got its face, arms, hands, legs, and feet clean without a problem. I mostly avoided the ribs, belly, and private areas. I don't want to push my luck. I draped the blanket back over it. All done. You already look better. Well, cleaner, anyway. As I collect the used baby wipes, I noticed that the feral's half awake again. I mean, it's been a couple hours since Goro gave it antihistamines. Time for another? Crush an antihistamine pill into the food. Keep it sedated, it'll keep calm. Stay calm and heal quicker. You grab all the unused wipes and the untouched cup of milk. Don't underestimate it. Dump the used wipes into the incinerator and crush up the whole antihistamine pill. Additionally, I crush one of the big Neko-friendly pain relievers from the bottle that I keep on hand in case I ever need it for Claudia. Mix them both into the cup of milk. You really shouldn't be mixing medication if you're not, like, trained in it, but I get what you're shooting for here.
Yeah, you really don't want to do... I mean, antihistamines, though, are pretty mild.
Yeah, I was about to say, it should be fine.
And I mean, yeah, it should be fine. I'm just... Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But I think this is okay, I would argue.
Yeah. The feral's already wrestling with consciousness. My reappearance seemed to trigger its survival instincts, further resisting the sedatives waiting in its system. I speak in a soft monotone and offer the cup. It's okay, you're okay. Want some milk? Feral clumsily tucks most of her head under the blanket. Alright, no milk right now, we'll try something else. What the hell else is there to try? I find Claudia in the kitchen. She seems slightly embarrassed to be here, as though I caught her doing something she shouldn't. Something more befitting Pepper, rather than her. And her the milk. Claudia, put this in the fridge for me. I'll save it for a later attempt. Answering my earlier question of how to get some antihistamines into the feral, the bag of cat bread, which was in the refrigerator, stares at me from the counter. It was in the fridge, wasn't it? Yes, Claudia brought it out. Anyway.
Oh, he was sneaking treats.
Yep. Bought the containers of shrimp, chicken, and sashimi with a smile. Whoa, Pepper! Pepper cake, fast as I can. Barely get half the steamed shrimp into a bowl before Pepper rushes into the kitchen. Sudden shift from the library quiet mood to trying to not freak out over the injured feral to the ruckus of demanding domestic is jarring. Yoink! Pepper snatches the food out of my hands and dashes off. Part of my brain instinctively wants to give chase, but all I can do is stand flat-footed with my mouth wide open. My hand still cradling the ghost of a bowl that is now down the hall with Pepper. Claudia and I look at each other awkwardly. Claudia turns, ready to go after Pepper. Wait, let her keep it. However well-intentioned Claudia might be, it would inevitably turn into a squabble with Pepper. I have bigger problems to deal with than being referee. A bit of stolen shrimp does not take priority for getting drugs into the feral before it wakes up enough to be problematic. Naughty Pepper. Is Pepper hiding in the hallway? Pepper wanted cat bread. Stopped her. Claudia replies sheepishly while unconsciously fiddling with a braid. It was Pepper that pulled out the bag. I knew the cat bread was in the refrigerator. Let me guess. Pepper came out and you followed. Yeah, but want to. There are no leftovers in the fridge. Only now I realize I haven't had anything to eat since lunchtime. I spent more time than planned with Goro at the restaurant, and I've been busy dealing with the feral since I came home. This crazy night has gotten us all distracted. I guess I should be grateful that Pepper waited until I was away from the feral before performing her shenanigans. Claudia smiles at my attempt to lighten the mood. I return her smile. Sashimi or chicken? Aww. Once things quiet down, my attention again returns to the feral. I put one shrimp and a small bite of chicken on a plate and slowly approach. This time, a pained whimper escapes the feral. It flinches as it moves. The meds are really wearing off. This isn't good. I have to get you to eat. I know you're hungry. Want this? I can tell from its trembling, but what it wants is for me to leave. The only reply is that piercing blue eye fixed on me, willing me away. Crap. After a useless moment of standing around, I open the plastic on the sashimi. I can see why the waitress gave me the tuna and salmon. It has the slightest fishy smell. Fish should never smell fishy. But there's none of the spoiled indicators, so it's still okay to eat, especially for a feral who live on rat meat and don't get sick. Feral tracks my movements from the kitchen to the living room as I slowly approach. If you don't want this, I have no idea what I'm going to do. The feral answers with a pleading coo as I close in with the plate. You like fish?
You know, I never noticed that her other eye is blind.
Yep. Well, Goro mentioned that when he was giving the rundown of her condition. There's conflict, anxiety towards a human, hunger for the fish, apparent in how her eye jumps back and forth from my face to the plate. I avoid eye contact and set the plate down. Once I move back, the feral weakly reaches forward and clumsily drops a hand onto the plate. After sliding the plate closer, the piece of sashimi is unceremoniously stuffed into its mouth and swallowed without chewing. There's a moment of solace, relief, a pause to recognize an answer to her earlier prayer, perhaps. A warm rush of reassurance floods through me, causing a smile, a big one. The feral looks at the empty plate and glares a drugged yet suspicious eye at me. That's sashimi. That's good, isn't it? I like sashimi too. Shish. Me. I'm floored. Did she already know how to speak already? There's no way it couldn't have. How'd she pick it up that fast? Yeah, sashimi. I'll get you more. I gingerly take the plate and find myself rushing back to the kitchen. I arrange the rest of the sashimi, crushing and sprinkling the medicines over several of the pieces. There's a weird excitement about this. Like, I feel like I won something. But I need to keep my guard up, slow down before I spook it and freaks out. Yeah, need to take a breath. When I come back, my new friend's gaze fixated on the plate on my hand. Sashimi? Shimi. can't believe it. I step away, smiling as the pharaoh picks up each piece from the plate with its good hand. Shimi. Yeah, why not? Shimi. Shimi quickly finishes and licks the plate for good measure. Oh, he named her Shimi because it was her first word. Cute. The antihistamines and pain relievers work their way into the feral system. As prudently as I'm watched, a week's worth of exhaustion and injuries teamed with the medicines are an irresistibly binding weight on the cat. Gently but insistently, they pull down into the inevitable arms of sleep. I'm relieved, but also completely drained. My life has gone from enjoyably boring to a seemingly endless parade of unimaginable and ridiculous events, all of which demand my full energy and attention. Sleep tugs at me as well. It's late. I should... Oh, alright. We're getting another choice here, so we're gonna save. Alright, so what is our canon determination? I'm probably going to explore all of these options later on, but for the sake of our quote-unquote canon events, what are we going to do?
Man, you gotta do this to me. I would probably, personally, me, in this moment right now, I probably would stay with Shimi.
Right. Yeah, let's do that. We should tend to our injured guest. The soft cushions of the sofa sap the remaining strength of my muscles. I release a long, deep sigh as I watch the feral sleep. Pillow, Shimi. Placing an end cushion on the floor, I slide to her with my feet. Even in medicated sleep, when the cushion touches the feral's arm, it grabs the pillow. Then, like a machine in slow motion, Shimi pulls the cushion close, hugging it. Having a feral in the middle of my living room is not a viable situation. I'm trying to think of what my other options are, but I can barely keep my eyes open. I just need a moment to think.
Hey, chicka bum bum, chicka bum bum.
Maybe hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be harder for an egg to learn to fly. We are eggs. We must be hatched, or go bad.
Or go bad.
Shimi.
Life is death. To kill is to live. Pain means you're still alive. That's Ditaku speaking for you. That's also... crap. There's a German philosopher, I forget his name. Everyone really likes him. He wrote also Sprachzarathustra. This big vitalist guy who's all about, being as dynamic and, energetic as possible. And he really wasn't as nihilistic as people say that he was.
Well, I'll let you work on that.
You know what? I'm going to work that right now.
The sofa has always been surprisingly comfortable. Dreams of being chased down by rats? Not so much. I find myself not wanting to move, but the strange feeling that something's missing gets me up. In the middle of brushing my teeth, it hits my sleep-saturated brain. The feral! Shimi! Nietzsche. Okay.
Yes.
Shimi's
yes. Very
not.
Nietzschean. But,
okay.
Yeah. This is Ditaku's, deepest lore hot take for you. Nietzsche is not what you think he is. He's a lot more actually basically deeply based in red pilled and being all about dynamic energism and being as active and masculine basically as you can be. And the nihilism is basically the most cookie cutter you did not really understand it analysis of his work.
Right.
So yeah,
understandably. Shimi is not in the living room. The blanket's gone. Did I dream it? No, I'm sure it wasn't a dream. So where's the feral?
I'm pretty sure I spent way too much time angsting about this.
Yeah, I was about to say, this has gotta be real. It must still be here somewhere. It was way too injured to leave. Then again, this is a feral. If it chose to, it could push itself to death on pure will and adrenaline. If it's still here, there aren't too many places to hide. Beyond finding the feral, how to find it keeps me from searching right away. I mean, the last thing I want to do is startle it. First make tea, find the feral. So I grab the kettle, Claudia stops humming and gives me a quick smile, then returns to her chore. Clean laundry is piled on the counter before her. She slowly and carefully folds each piece. Claudia is fully focused on the task. She has to be, as her Neko brain always seems better suited to abstract concepts rather than a logical one like folding laundry.
Which is funny because it seems like Pepper seems to work better with concrete, concepts.
Still, Mom really took care to make her feel valuable for doing simple tasks around the house. And it's pretty cool that she never needs to be told to do them. I guess they gave her a sense of purpose. Is that what I've been missing? A sense of purpose? Too early to get philosophical.
What are you talking about? It's always time to be philosophical.
Sorry, Claus, talking to myself. Anyway, right now my purpose is to get caffeine into me and then carefully find a feral. Feral that is loose somewhere in my house and likely not wanting to be found.
Man after my own heart. Coffee first, then the stranger.
Claudia, have you seen Shimi? Claudia stops her slow, practiced folding motions and looks at me like I'm speaking gibberish. Her innocent, confused expression makes me smile at my own early morning stupidity. I'm sorry, let me start over. The feral Neko, do you know where it is? Claudia smiles, understanding me now, and points down the hall. Close it. Ah, hall closet, your old hiding place. Closet makes sense. It has to feel safer there than in the middle of the living room. Shimi. Oh, that? I fed her the fish, and then she actually tried to speak. She sort of said sashimi, but not really. It was... Anyway, we gotta call her something, right? Claudia giggles and shakes her head. Pepper, Shimi. You like that both the other Nekos are named after food? Mm-hmm, yeah, delicious. In spite of the situation, her comment makes me giggle too. That's my silly girl. And if you think about a recipe I saw in a cookbook a while back for a crispy fish and bell pepper soup, maybe I'll make that. Claudia becomes very serious. Scared. You're scared? Claudia shakes her head no. Oh, the feral, Shimi is scared. She nods, indicating that's what she's talking about. Oh, I have no doubt Shimi's a scaredy cat. She's in pain, and being here has to go against all her instincts. I'd be scared too. Oh, alright, we're getting another choice already. Let's, drop a save. Okay, we're gonna leave it alone, or are we going to try to check in on her? Have we lost you? Well, it seems Yutaku has exploded again. Looks like it's up to me. In that case... I kind of feel like leaving it alone is the best choice. Having dealt with cats, a lot of the time, that's really all you can do. In many cases, you gotta let the cat come to you. Even if she is of a higher intelligence than your basic regular cat... Oh,
sorry, I hit the... sorry about that. I had to hit the head.
Nope, you're good. I was rationalizing here. We have a situation here where Claudia explains to us that Shimi feels scared. So our prompt is to leave it alone or to go check on her. And my line of thinking is with cats, a lot of the time you have to let them come to you. Meaning that probably leaving it alone is probably our best course of action. But what say you?
Yeah, you say that, and I understand that. I just, personally, my feeling is having had a bunch of cats that are very sick, kind of have to keep an eye on them, even if it's kind of a case of, like, you know where they are, and they're like, I'm hiding from you. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever, but I need to kind of know where you are. And I feel like in this instance, that's kind of important.
No, well, she's in the hall closet. We know that already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Claudia told us that.
Okay.
So we do know where she is, and we know the approximate state she's in. So, does that change your answer, or are you still saying check?
In that case, ultimately, yeah, we should probably let her decide that then. We don't really want to push it, and honestly, with cats... It's, as you say, I mean, absolutely. I agree with you, absolutely. Honestly, and I can speak to this, Layla's and Sir Dash's sisters I met them, and I tried to actually like get them, and those little boogers, they all were like in a big old pile. They came over and they were tiny. They were basically like 2 months old.
Yep.
They all fit in my hand. I am not kidding you. I actually had to take them out of the kennel. And they all were all in a little kitten pile. Literally, they all came up on my lap.
Yep.
And we have pictures of it. They were all in my lap. But the little boogers, as soon as they became teenagers, they just would not come near me.
Yep, they'd wig out and they'd hide. It's only now, years later, they're finally starting to regain some level of normalcy.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened with that, but honestly, I kind of feel like my insistence on wanting to see them again kind of happened. But,
yeah.
No, I think, there's something to it where, like, not caring causes cats to like you more.
That is true. Claudia says the feral is in the closet. Technically, that counts as finding it. We should let it rest as much as possible for now. Later, I'll put some food by the door, and that way it can come eat when it's hungry. Then a concerning thought forms. There's no telling what an injured feral could do. If it comes fully to its senses and thinks it's trapped inside a house, I need to remember to put antihistamines in all of its meals. After the rest of the morning bathroom ritual, I realize I haven't seen Pepper. She wasn't in her room or any of the obvious places. This raises a concern that maybe last night upset her more than I imagine. Could she have left? Left to where? Where would she go? Claudia, now I'm looking for Pepper. Have you seen her? Claudia sheepishly points towards the backyard. Looking out the kitchen window causes the hair on the back of my neck to stand up. There's a figure in the grass, unmoving. Oh my god! Pepper, crumpled in a heap, lies completely still. I rush outside and drop down next to Pepper. She's motionless, her lips barely parted. There's no reaction to placing a hand on her. She's limp, lifeless. Pepper, how'd she fall off the roof? My mind tries to fill in the blanks of what could have happened here, to understand what could have led to... Wait, did Claudia? Milk. Claudia's sitting next to us. I have no idea what she's saying. What? Milk.
Oh, she drank the milk.
She drank the milk that we put the antihistamines.
She's an idiot, and she drank the milk, and now she's knocked out.
Pepper mumbles, briefly opening and closing her eyes. Thank God she's alive. The huge sigh leaves her body seems to take every drop of energy with it. I thought you were dead. Not yet. Dead. Pepper's eyes cross and uncross. She mumbles. Redhead in bed fed.
You idiot. This is...
Lead cornbread.
Okay. When I was very young, my mother had a cat who she saved from being put down. He was a sweetheart, but he was not very smart. And
okay.
he did. My mother had an older cat, an older Tom, who she loved. She called him. His name was Willow, but he ultimately became Wheezy, and he'll always be Wheezy to me. But he had endocrine problems.
Okay.
And so they had the younger cat, who Willow Wheezy took in. His name was Figment. And that kind of shows you how old this is.
Yeah, that paints this story a bit.
Yes. Well, Figment, Figgy, as we called him, ate Wheezy's endocrine food. And basically, his body shot up and he became very big. Except his head never really grew after that. He was not a smart boy. He was a sweetheart. He's kind of dumb.
Oh, jeez.
But...
I see how this would have reminded you of that, yes.
Yes, so I guess ultimately what I'm saying is cats should not be allowed to get their own food, ultimately, I guess is what I'm saying. Because things like this happen. Or things like Figment happen, okay? Where you get a cat who does not have a head that grows past a certain point because he eats his brother's, much older brother's, endocrine medicine.
I look to Claudia to make sense of this. What's going on? Took milk, naughty Pepper. Claudia thinks for a minute, the nad's for my benefit. Milk for Sheeny. Milk for... Claudia mimes sleeping. I slap myself on the forehead. Last night I mixed the antihistamines into that cup of milk. Shimi didn't drink it and it went into the fridge. Pepper woke up this morning, found it, and drank it. Ah, Pepper is sedated. Pepper. At the sound of her name, Pepper opens her eyes. She struggles to roll onto her back, so I help her. She reaches up to me and pushes my nose like a button. Boop. Her coordination is off, and she sticks her finger into my nostril. Papa wants noodles. Then she closes her eyes and starts softly snoring.
Aww.
My quiet home has become a madhouse. Takes me a little while to relax from that scare and panic. I really thought Pepper was dead. I feel like I've aged 10 years since brushing my teeth. It's early morning and I'm ready to go back to bed. I scoop up Pepper, surprised how light she feels in my arms. Not like a rag doll, the slender muscles of her petite frame are completely relaxed from the antihistamines. She still feels firm and powerful in my hands as I cradle and carry her back inside. Even her completely flaccid tail feels like an industrial-strength thick rope. That amount of antihistamines was a lot for Pepper. She isn't even close to Shimi's size. I figure she's going to be loopy for a while. I'll have to keep an eye on her and make sure she's okay. The living room is probably the most convenient place to do that, as well as the most comfortable for her. I lay her gently on the sofa.
Pepper, you dumbass.
Stupid cat.
I can't hate you. You're just really stupid.
I spend a moment letting the lingering adrenaline clear out of my system. Watching Claudia helps calm me. She moves with methodical precision, making sure that each piece of laundry is folded perfectly. You know, Sir Dash likes to help me with laundry. His favorite thing is when I get to the hand towels, and then he'll grab one end of it and play tug-of-war with me. So I have to throw a blanket over his head to distract him while I'm folding them.
Wait, that's not fair. You're not... Where did you go?
I throw it over his head, and you can just hear him purr, because he likes tunneling. So he's just like, oh, I'm in the dark now, purr. Once you finish...
now, human. I am Spice Cat. Spice Cat controls the spice. Spice Cat controls the universe.
Once she finishes folding the last piece, I ask, have you eaten? Yeah. Since Claudia can't cook, that means her breakfast is the last of the cat bread. After the drama with Pepper, I can't decide if I'm hungry or not. I'd better make something. Finally pour myself a cup of tea. Meanwhile, the kitchen fills with the aroma of bread and cheese warming in the toaster. Finished with the laundry, Claudia heads outside, checking her flowers to see if any are thirsty. She waits till they're very dry, then soaks the ground beneath them. I always thought she should give them less water more often. The houseplants too, but it's her thing, so I just stay out of the way. Besides, if it wasn't for Claudia, I'm pretty sure the backyard would be bare and all the plants of the house would be dead. I'm just not that good at remembering to water flowers and bushes. Good thing she's more attentive than I am. With warm tea on my lips, I feel my muscles finally starting to relax from that Pepper nonsense. What a morning. I hope later on I'll look back and Mom Des and find it funny. Later. Stop my musing. Something feels off. Goosebumps. Quiet unease. I'm aware of the air, as if the pressure in the room has suddenly changed. Something's tickling my subconscious. A feeling of being watched? Outside, Claudia's busy watering the flowers. She certainly isn't watching me. I should grab my phone. I need a distraction. Shimi! My gas causes Shimi to reflexively crouch ever so slightly. You scared the hell out of me. A moment ago, she wasn't there. Now she is. I didn't hear her approach at all. Have you ever heard a cat approach? They're lightning fast. They teleport, and they don't make sounds unless they want to.
Nope.
Alert. Shimi is nothing
Cats are their own unique form of matter. They can exist in two spaces at once. They can be multiple forms of matter almost immediately. They are truly one of God's mysteries that he has graced us with.
Absolutely. Shimi is nothing like the pathetic creature wrapped in the blanket on my living room floor from last night. There's an unmistakable tension about the feral. Like a cocked crossbow ready to loose, Shimi stands perfectly still, watching my mouth make words as I talk to myself. It's pretty unnerving to be locked in her primal gaze. Did the commotion I made with Pepper bring you out of your hiding place? That and the smell of cheese toast. Shimi still looks rough, wounded and tired, but untamed. I blink several times, breathe, and attempt to diffuse some of the tension. Hello, Shimi. She coughs, which causes her to wince slightly and tighten her hold on her ribs. She doesn't undo her poker-faced blank
Oh,
stare.
she's not just being nervous. That literally is her holding her side.
Yep.
Okay.
I see that you're wearing one of Mia's old shirts. Mia was my girlfriend. Was. Shimi simply stands, glaring at me. Do you know she fit everything she owned into 2 small bags when she left? Bro! Come on! After a breakup, you're supposed to make it a point to move on. Get a grip, man.
Did you know? Did you know, bro? Did you know? She fit everything into 2 bags, man. See,
Yeah.
I told you, Professor. I told you. She was pulling some shenaniganry.
According
She
to
was
Goro,
trying
she
to be like-
definitely was, yes.
Oh, yeah.
It seems she didn't take everything. It's a little weird for Mia. She doesn't like to leave things undone. Oh, that's not good for you. That's
I'm
not good
so
for you,
sorry.
MC-kun.
I'm so sorry there, MC. This implies that this was part of her plan.
It's like, yeah, she schemed at least part of this. Shimi keeps completely still, just watching me speak at her. I'm guessing that Claudia gave you that shirt to wear? Good. I'm glad you have it. Still nothing other than an unblinking stare. I'm not sure what I was expecting. You're hungry. Good. That means I can get some food and medicine into you. Rest and good food will speed your recovery. She's holding her ribs and busted arm with her good arm. I have a feeling that unless I can keep her from moving around, she's likely to injure herself even more. My movement causes Shimi to shift suddenly, freezing me in place. Small exertion causes her a fresh wince of pain. When the pharaoh relaxes back to its guarded pose, I move more slowly, taking care not to spook it again as I make my way carefully around the kitchen. I'm watched intently the whole time while I grab a can of tuna from the cabinet. I'm going to keep talking in a low voice, partly to try and keep you calm, and partly to keep me calm. Pharaoh's eyes light up as I spork the tuna out of the can into a bowl, juice and all. Shimi is extremely hungry, but her gaze is like cold steel and suspicious of my every movement. I'm not going to lie, you're pretty intense. My friend Goro, the other human that treated you last night, he left for the army. He was making fun of me for getting freaked out when I thought you were a giant rat in my bushes. I crush up an antihistamine pill and a Neko-friendly pain reliever and add them to the tuna. Shimi, here you go. Fish for you and a straight jacket for me. Moving slowly, I balance her bowl, a spork, my cheese toast, and tea. Limping, Shimi moves with me, maintaining her distance. Her face is that of a statue, but it doesn't hide the pain she's in. I leave the bowl at the end of the table closest to her, and set myself down with my tea and cheese toast. For several moments, Shimi does nothing except hover in a shadow. She looks at the bowl, then to me, and then back to the bowl. It's not going to eat itself. Go on, that's for you. Eventually, she comes to the table. Shimi picks up the bowl, but not the spork, and leaves. Limping down the hallway, she slips back into the closet where she was camping this morning. Before disappearing, she regards me coldly for several moments. Then she steps into the closet, sliding the door shut behind her. Baby steps, I guess. Claudia's returned from outside. No, nothing, Claus, just thinking out loud. She spends a moment gazing down the hallway towards the closet. Wild cat. Shimi, the feral Neko doesn't know how we eat at a table. Claudia looks at me seriously. Wild cat. Wild cat. Pepper sits up to echo Claudia, mumbles something else, and then flops back onto the sofa. Ignoring Pepper's drugged-up chatter, I keep my focus on Claudia. Something in her expression that makes me want to probe deeper into what she means by wildcat. But then a loud snore from Pepper catches our attention. Naughty Pepper. Yep, our naughty Pepper. Claudia just stares over at the sofa. Either way, the odds of accidentally catching himself on fire were greater than 0, which was higher than he generally liked those odds to be. Shimi will sleep on her belly full of tuna and antihistamines. Still can't believe we have an injured feral in the hall closet. Can't imagine how Mom would react if she knew. I think not well would be an understatement. Claudia stifles a giggle. Seriously, Mom would lose her mind if she knew I was being this reckless. Checking on Pepper, she's smaller than the feral, thus had about twice the dose of antihistamine that I would have given her to her intentionally. But my worry seems wasted. She's fine, happily sleeping the day away. Pepper's been dealing with a lot of stress, and she can use the rest. Before dinner, I carry Pepper back to her bed and tuck her in. She mumbles in her sleep as her dreams fill her head. Rats. You go get 'em, Pepper. For dinner, I make that crispy fish and bell pepper soup. I don't have any scallions, but substituting a yellow onion works well enough. Claudia, of course, helps and cleans up for me. I consider the rich, savory smell might entice Shimi out of her nest, but it doesn't happen. Although Pepper's absence is felt, it's actually nice with just Claudia and I. Looks like it's just you and me for dinner. No stress, eh, Claus? Something that the house has not been for a while. She looks around, her ears searching for any sounds, and nods and smiles. Quiet now, peaceful, it's nice. Yeah, it is nice. Something else comes to mind. Something unexpected or a quiet meal. Okay, looks like we're going to have a destiny-altering thought. This is some thought-action fusion, if you'll pardon the official terminology here. So what do we have? Do we have something unexpected, or do we and Claudia just get a quiet meal tonight?
Let's do something unexpected.
All right, that sounds like fun. Claudia putters around the kitchen. I get an idea. Hey, Claus, go grab a blanket, please. Unable to find a single reason why I want a blanket in the kitchen at dinner time, Claudia just blinks. Trust me, I think you like this. Confused but trusting, she goes. I collect the spoons and bowls Claudia already pulled out and grab some snacks that will go well with soup. I'm unable to hide a smirk as a hesitant Claudia hands me the blanket. Alrighty. Whatever I'm up to and all the snacks I pulled out have her quite curious. I can tell she wants to ask what's going on, but she's enjoying the suspense. When I lay the blanket on the grass, she exclaims, "Picnic!" Yeah, it's been a long time since we had one. Let's bring the stuff out. This really is such a small thing, eating outside instead of at a table. Still, the excitement in her voice is unmistakable and makes my own smile grow to match hers. There's something about a picnic that makes a meal fun, special. The late afternoon sun, flowers, and soft breeze are the perfect setting. Sitting here eating Claudia's easy company reinforces the peaceful mood. Everything seems to slow down. All around us, singing birds act as accompaniment to our quiet meal. Soup may not have been the best choice for a picnic, but we managed with no spills. This is nice, right? Yeah, very. Just us. Yeah. Just me and Claudia. No nervous excitement or dealing with a feral Sheeny. No frustration trying to satisfy a predictably unpredictable Pepper. Nothing but a simple picnic, at least for this moment. Claudia's done a great job putting up with Pepper. I appreciate her help with the feral, too. I'm about to mention it, but she begins humming as she eats. It's the same short musical phrase that she's sung for as long as I can remember. Let's watch Claudia as she happily hums, surrounded by our garden and all the well-tended flowers and bushes. Lush grass stretches out around us like a soft green carpet. Colorful flowers of every hue sway gently in the warm breeze, their scents adding sweet flavor to the aroma of the soup. Claudia has carved out a perfect little slice of heaven here, a perfect little escape. I really don't take the time to appreciate it as much as I should. Actually, if it wasn't for the grill, I don't think I'd ever come out here. In a way, I feel like a visitor. Watching Claudia enjoying herself, she really is in her element in the garden, speaking to it in a way that's both strange and intriguing. She complements and encompasses the scene around me like the centerpiece of an elegantly crafted floral display, amplifying it. It makes me appreciate it and all the work she does. I'm unable to do anything except savor this small bit of peace, and just relax to the music of birdsong and Claudia's humming. I had no idea how stressed I was until this moment when it all fell away. Claudia's hair and eyes capture and hold the late afternoon sun. I'm lost in the glow of both, the light that holds the day for a little while longer and the light that sparkles deep in her eyes. I found myself thinking about nothing at all. Claudia notices I've stopped eating and I've just been watching her. She looks back at me expectantly, waiting, as if the reason that I'm looking at her is because I'm about to say something. When I don't, she gives me a questioning smile, staring, appreciating. This makes her blush, which makes me grin, and then for no reason at all, we both giggle. This picnic was a good idea. Blissful calm is such a contrast to earlier. It's nice to be able to just kick back and enjoy ourselves like this.
I have to ask, is Pepper still spread eagle, just out in the backyard?
No, we carried her inside. She's in her room at this point. She's still unconscious, but she's safely in her bed. No, we carried her inside basically straight away, so she's safe. So that would be kind of funny if he was just like sprawled out in the background, like still conked out.
This is a good idea. Hey, Mr. President, get down. They just sent a nasty tweet to you.
Towards the end of our meal, Claudia gets distracted look about her. It seems like something's on her mind. She doesn't mention anything, though, just looks out into the middle distance of the yard. Tired? Claudia looks at me, but doesn't respond. She smiles a tired smile. Yeah, past week's been nuts. I got a lot of sleep, but I'm still exhausted, and she got up before me this morning. Hopefully things will calm down around here. We could use more moments like this.
Narrator, there were not going to be more calm moments in this visual novel. Lol, period. Lamau, period.
You know you're allowed to turn on the lights, right? You are aware I am perfectly capable of seeing in the dark, are you not? Later, Claudia paints her nails in her room and decides to have an early night. I watch some TV and do the same.
You also paint your nails?
Probably less painting nails and more having a discussion with the narrator of Slay the Princess, apparently.
Oh my God, Becky. Did you tell them what they were saying to me, Becky? About rats of unusual size, Becky?
It's dark.
OMG, Samantha.
It's dark. I have no idea what time it is. Another weird dream. I feel myself fading, drifting back to glorious...
OMG, you literally is me, FR.
It takes a moment.
I too can get a restful night's sleep because of my overthinking.
It takes a moment for me to understand what's happening. It's dark, and there's an echo in my room. Claudia? Boop. What the hell? Pepper. She reaches out and presses my nose like a button. Boop. Why? Pepper emphasizes her reply while gently tapping the tip of my nose. Pepper hungry. Go eat something. No. Boop. Maybe now she's come out ever since he had cold from Shimi's spiked milk, Pepper's not sure what's safe to snack on. Pepper want noodles. Or maybe she wants you to get up and cook her some noodles. Okay, Pepper, I'll feed you. A defeated sigh acknowledges the end of sleep for now. I roll out of my comfortable bed.
You know, you should be happy that you're cute, because
my blurry
otherwise you get a swift kick in the butt.
My blurry eyes catch Shimi's shadowy form slipping back into the hall closet, which freezes me mid-step. The feral's been exploring. Strange thought creeps into my weary head. Was Pepper worried about Shimi? Is that why she woke me up? Faster, Stepper, feed the pepper. Guess not. The clock on the oven insists as 3:06 a.m. Mumble, grumble, murmur. Stir-fried noodles seems like a quick and healthy enough meal to satisfy Pepper and get me back to my soft, warm bed. The ingredients simmer and oil will tingle at the back of my neck, causing me to stand straight up. Instinctively, I'm fully awake now, and afraid, but why? Of what? Pepper, distracting herself with Claudia's hair scrunchies, isn't paying any attention to me. That's when, in the shadows of the foyer, I catch sight of Shimi. Her appearance is like a cup of strong coffee spilled on my lap. Like a sentient shadow.
That's like some, Japanese urban legend right there. She's just in the background.
I'm watching.
And there she was, in the hallway.
Like a sentient shadow out of some mythical dark land, the feral hovers at the edge of the black veil, watching. I breathe and whisper, "Hello, Shimi." Pepper's eyes and ears flatten as she glances towards Shimi. Then loses interest and returns to testing the elasticity of the scrunchie. Still keeping my voice low. You're hungry too, Shimi? The feral emerges a bit from the layered darkness. I'll need to feed them both, which gives me an idea. Careful in my movements, I add more ingredients to the stir-fry, then grab Goro's medical bag from the cabinet under the sink. After crushing up some meds, I ask Pepper to grab 3 bowls and sporks, please. Excited to get some yummies, Pepper drops the scrunchie and does as I ask. Yep, sporks and bowls and casseroles. She's far too awake for 3 in the morning. She's a cat, what do you want, man? Plus she's been asleep all day. Fill 2 bowls of food, Pepper takes one and heads over to the table.
She's been drugged out of her head all day.
Yeah. Wait for everyone, Pepper. Peppery protests softly emanate from the table. I mix the meds into Shimi's bowl. Shimi retreats, watching as I juggle the med bag, 2 sporks, a bowl of food, and an empty bowl over to the table. Like, literally juggling? Because that'd be pretty sweet, I gotta admit. Leaving the seat closest to Shimi empty and Goro's bag on the floor, I places one bite of the spiked noodles into the empty bowl. Then I point at the chair. Shimi, if you want to eat, you need to come over here and sit. Sit here. Shimi stares, Pepper huffs, whining at me, then looks over to Shimi and flicks her ears. Shimi quickly glances at Pepper, but her attention is fixed on me and the bowl. I know it smells good. There's a pause, and Shimi haltingly steps to the table, then waits as I tempt her with the bowl. This is the sort of poker game. If I come on too strong, it'll push her away. Pepper's not pleased that I'm still making her wait to eat, but she curiously watches my plan unfold. After another long moment, Shimi takes her place at the table. Supported by her good hand, she lowers herself, there's a typo there, into the chair. Her locked stare on me is momentarily broken by a flash of pain as she finally sits. Something clearly bothers her. Get him, Pepper. Pepper animatedly shovels noodles into her face, distracting Shimi. By placing the bowl on the table draws back the Pharaoh's attention.
Pepper, you troglodyte, use your
Use the
silverware.
spork, come on! Shimi takes the bowl, but not the spork. As expected, she steps away from the table and down the hallway as quickly as her injuries allow. But having just one bite to eat and unsatisfied, she returns a moment later. She moves slowly, hobbled by deep suspicion, hunger, and pain. Her limp is more pronounced. Pepper eats, pretending she isn't watching us. I feel bad about making her sit every time she comes back, but Shimi, I really need you at the table. We go back and forth. I give Shimi one bite, she steps away, then comes back. After several trips, Shimi overcomes her instincts to flee and remains at the table. I just don't know any other way to keep you from running off. Pepper finishes her dinner and seems amused with the game I have to play with Shimi. The meds really kick in fast, not like when Goro gave her a shot, but Shimi gets very mellow. Each additional bite means more medicine, and as Shimi watches my mouth make words, her movements come progressively slower, gluey. Last to go, the fierce glare finally softens, her eyelids droop. Finally, I'm comfortable that Shimi's ready, or at least sedated enough. I point at my arm, then point at hers. I need to change your bandage. Shimi looks at me blankly. Slumping a bit in her chair now, she's having trouble keeping her eyes open. As gently as I can, I reach over and slowly undo the bandage on the Pharaoh's arm. The contact causes her breathing to quicken and she tenses, but the meds have her in their grasp and she doesn't pull away. After a short pause, her breathing becomes shallow and I resume tending to her arm. She slowly, with great care, my hands work the bandage. I speak softly to fill the uneasy silence. I have to change this bandage. I want you to get better. It's all very new for both of us and complicated by our collective nervousness. Every time her breathing changes, I freeze and slowly back off. The whole time, Shimi watches me with half-closed, wild eye. Even in her tranquilized state, her focus on me is primal. I'll be back to living the dream very soon, hiding away from people, murdering rats. Part of my mind is crying out that I shouldn't be this close to this creature. I'm sure that a muffled part of her brain is saying the same thing, but we push through. And now, some antibiotic cream to make sure you don't get an infection. Shimi's breathing slows more, deepening and taking her to a place of easy sleep. Still, she watches my mouth as I talk to her. It takes time, but the old bandage is removed from her arm. Cream and a fresh new bandage are applied. She is almost completely limp at this point, but her eye refuses to close. After her arm...
That begs the question, how heavy are Neko's?
According to him, Pepper didn't weigh all that much when he was moving her. So, your theory that they're more cartilaginous may hold water in this case.
Pepper seems to be smaller than other Nekos.
Yeah, she is. He mentioned that Shimi is bigger than her, too. After her arm...
Which is funny because she's feral. And Shimi, ferals are usually on the smaller side.
Yeah, she might be a breed that kind of gives her the edge on that, though. But, I don't know.
That's true.
After her arm, a careful cleaning of dinner from her fingers. Now, time to attend to Shimi's tail. Just touching it will make the feral wince, which causes me to pause till her posture relaxes again. Redoubling my efforts to carefully support it, especially when reapplying the splint, seems to help. When we're done, I lean back satisfied. Pretty sure I did a good job, not too tight anywhere. I know the cream feels soothing, so maybe this will get easier. This whole time, Pepper's been eyeing me with an oddly pleased expression. The entire delicate procedure, from tricking Shimi to stay at the table to securing the final bandage, was strangely amusing to her. What? Pepper just snickers. Time to make her useful. I'm glad you enjoyed dinner and a show. Now how about you clean up the dishes? She looks at me as if she's about to tell me no. Before I can get angry about her lack of appreciation for my getting up in the middle of the night and feeding her, Pepper's eyes light up. Chores reward! I smile at Pepper and clean up the old bandages. Crap, I forgot about the chores reward thing. It's almost a full week since I promised good Nekos who do their chores get rewards. Still need to come up with a reward. In the kitchen, Pepper does a much too quick and half-hearted cleanup of the plates and pan. I already know that the job will need to be redone. We can focus Pepper's attention to detail later, one crisis at a time. The yawn leaves my mouth before I'm aware it's coming. Instantly, my eyes go half-mast. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be asleep. My announcement makes Pepper snicker as she heads to her room. Maybe triggered by Pepper's movement down the hall, Shimi wobbles to her feet. Almost stumbling and nearly brushing against me, the Pharaoh moves over to the living room's window. Swaying slightly, she peels back the curtain and checks behind. Then, supporting herself in the wall, she clumsily manages to make her way back to the closet. O fortune, like the moon you are changeable, ever waxing and waning. Hateful life first oppresses and then soothes as fancy takes it.
Are they? Is this O Fortuna?
Poverty and power, it melts them like ice.
I think they just were singing O Fortuna at us. Or reciting it, rather.
I think so, and this is where we are going to call it for today.
That's an unfortunate... O Fortuna is not a good song. It is literally a dirge singing about bad fortune.
Well, I mean, she got hit by a car. I'd say that her fortune has been pretty garbage up to this point. So, that being said, I am intrigued. We are definitely going to finish this out, and I'm definitely going to explore all possibilities before it's all said and done. But we are going to play in a linear fashion. We're going to complete our canon story first, whatever that ends up looking like. So thank you, Drunk Taku, for accompanying me.
Not a problem.
And we're going to see all you
Hopefully
guys.
It's been too distracting for everyone.
No. I'm sure it's fine. And it'll probably be very funny upon rewatching this. Anyway, we're going to see you guys next time.